Wow, they're doing it really well. Another first down. 6 points for Warwick. A pitch out there. Good run for the Hurricanes. Denbigh is going in the air for a bomb. Catch. The Wolverines to 10, 5, touchdown Woodside. High school football in beautiful Newport News, Virginia. It is Denbigh versus Warwick. Wonderful view right there from our drone right there. Picturesque scene in the peninsula tonight. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Bicaveras. Welcome to our 25th year of high school football coverage in the state of Virginia, joined by Nate Milton. When you talk about these two teams, Denbigh and Warwick, both should be refreshed.
Yes, it is great to be here to call this game tonight, my friend. And both teams have what I like to call the 4 R's. They're rested, they're relaxed, they're refreshed, and they're ready to play tonight.
And, of course, Denbigh is starting to get their groove on. Warwick's still trying to find it.
Well, that's going to be the big question tonight. Denbigh has the momentum coming off of 2 back-to-back victories. But Warwick, on the other hand, they want to stop the slide they've been on. So we'll see if they can come out here and impose their will on a very tough Patriots team.
All right, let's get down to Hannah Pennant.
Thanks, Greg. Earlier, I actually got the chance to speak with Coach Harrison. He told me that today the plan is to win, and they're back to the basics. So we'll see if it pays off on the field today. Back to you, Greg.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Nate, we look forward to hearing from Hannah all night.
I think it's going to be an exciting game tonight, Greg. I look forward to seeing what both of these teams can do out here. It's a classic rivalry here in Newport News. Denbigh Warwick, you don't want to miss it, folks.
All right, Denbigh and Warwick coming up in Newport News on Cox Cable 47, 517, nnpstv.com. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a scientist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer.
Our younger students have the right idea. Today's leading careers are involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. Newport News Public Schools has embarked on an aggressive STEM education initiative that prepares students to take full advantage of STEM opportunities in higher education and career fields. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Man, we have a beautiful game here tonight, Nate, between Denbigh and Warwick. And when you talk about these two teams, it should be an interesting showdown tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup we got right here, Greg, because you got two teams that are going in two very different directions. As we mentioned off the top, Warwick is coming in, and they're in a bit of a funk right now, so they got to find some way to get their groove back. Denbigh, on the other hand, has 2 straight victories, and they want to keep that thing rolling, Greg.
And we just saw Warwick recently against Woodside. That was not good. They're trying to get redemption.
No, it was not pretty at all. You know, Woodside came out, showed they were a superior team at this time, but Warwick has to learn from that loss, Greg. They got to take their lumps and learn the lessons that they can get from that and come out here and apply that against a very tough Denbigh Patriot squad.
Denbigh in the white uniforms, Warwick in the maroon. There's the officials. Referee Dennis Hicks, umpire Alonzo Bell Jr. Head linesman is Dwayne Bourne. Line judge, of course, Andrew Samaglio. Side judge, Anthony Mans. Field judge is Stephen Woodward. Back judge is Edwin Raines, respectively. Presented by Fazoli's.com. Of course, beautiful high school football. It's our 3rd game of the year. Of course, we did Menchville Heritage, of course, and Warwick and Woodside. Now we got Denbigh and Warwick, two of the oldest schools in Newport News.
Yeah, this is a classic rivalry here in Newport News, and it's interesting that we get another chapter of Patriots versus the Raiders, and now we're going to see what Coach Harrison can do and what Coach Harris can bring to the table.
And we're underway at Todd Stadium. Denbigh will get it first in the white uniforms, going right to left on the special teams return. All right, what are the keys, first of all, for Denbigh?
I think the key for Denbigh is line play, Greg. They've got to come out and establish the tone on the offensive side of the ball, and then on the defensive side of the ball, they've got to get some pressure on that Warwick Raider backfield.
Fazoli's and Pizza, of course, at 11739 Jefferson Avenue. Newport News, Virginia, 596-4324, Fazoli's.com. They catered our food tonight. Thank you so much, as well as sports highlights coming up. All right, it is 12-minute quarters, no score. Denbigh, of course, coached by Marcellus B2 Harris, likes the spread offense. And, of course, Warwick likes the 4-2-5 defense. The Patriots with the football first, going right to left, and immediately keeping on the ground. That's a good thing, Nate. You always want to start off on the ground, and that'll open things up, get people's nerves calmed down.
Right, and then just because Denbigh runs that spread offense, don't think that they're just a finesse team. As we saw right there, DeMonte Good, the running back, is somebody that will be a key part of this Denbigh Patriot offense.
And there's a big hole right there for the Patriots. Nice run by number 3, respectively. All right, last time in the postseason, of course, we're missing one right there, but of course it's Heritage last year. Woodside last year, that is correct. Warwick, Menchville, Denby's missing from that. They made it 2 years ago in 2013. They didn't make it last year.
Yeah, Denbigh made it 2 years ago, the first time in forever. And right now you see another run by D. Goods, DeMonte Good, the senior running back for this Denbigh Patriot squad. But you talk about 2 years ago with Denbigh, they had Terrence Dingle behind center back in 2013, and he really catapulted this spread offense that Coach B2 Harris wants to implement.
And, of course, Casey Vick, also an excellent running back as well. There's the L.J. Taylor, the quarterback. Still no score. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. War coached by Corey Hairston. They like the power I 4-2-5 defense. Strength is running. Weakness has been for Warwick not closing. And, of course, the weather last week, we said in the beginning of the broadcast and the telecast that the weather made everybody idle, and of course you got a chance to rest a little bit.
Yes, adios, Hurricane Joaquin. We will not miss you, sir.
No, not
but
at all.
This is a lovely weather out here, and to the credit of the staff here at Todd Stadium, Greg, this field is excellent tonight.
Flags all over the place. No score. When you look at Denbigh this year, folks, they beat Booker T 24-18, lost to Hampton 38-0, lost to Kickingham 35-13, beat Gloucester 35-14, beat Menchville 48-6. So they're 3-2. Warwick, on the other hand, they beat Granby. Then they lost to Heritage, Bethel, Phoebus, and Woodside, and they've been shut out twice this year. Warwick has. Denby's only been shut out once. That was against Hampton. Strain pass right there to the 40.
And L.J. Taylor is an interesting player, Greg. For those that are familiar with this young man, played at Woodside, transferred. He's going from that wing T offense that Coach Danny Dodson ran at Woodside now to this wide-open spread offense. And we're going to see if L.J. can take the reins and really be this leader for Denbigh.
Beautiful pigskin football, of course. Grass is in great shape. Rain probably helped the grass a little bit. Might have been a little dry. Left-footed punter, not too far out. But again, what will Warwick do? I mean, it's all about offense, defense, special teams. And again, when you have a week off early in the season, it really can throw you off a little bit.
Right, because you get into your routine.
Consistency.
You get into that routine, have that consistency, and now we're going to see, it comes to being prepared. And we know we've got two great coaches here on either sideline, but I'm interested to see what the Warwick Raider offense is going to look like, and we're going to see what Coach Hairston has planned for these Raiders right now.
Warwick made the postseason last in 2011. Denbigh in 2013. And before that, it was 1992. That was under Bob Schmidt. No score. 8:55 left in the first quarter. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us from Todd Stadium. Cox Cable 47, 517 NNPSTV.com. Warwick from the shotgun. Again, flags all over the place. And you can tell these teams have been idle for a week.
Well, you're not seeing the same type of crispness that you usually see, the same type of precision and execution that you would normally see from both of these squads early on here in the game, Greg. But I think, it's just kind of jitters. They're feeling each other out right now. As we mentioned at the top, neither team wants to lose this game and take a step back. So they're out here trying to feel each other out and see what they need to do to get their offense going.
That's what the first quarter is all about. And there's an example of it right there. Bad snap resulted in a drop by DJ Nunn. Luckily, he recovers it.
Yeah, that was very fortunate for the Raiders that they were able to recover that muff fumble because DJ Nunn, it was just him and everything behind him was clear space for that Denbigh Patriot defense. So it was a fortunate move right there that he was able to recover that football.
Again, the last time we saw Warwick, they were shut out by Woodside, 42-0 on our airwaves.
And that was not a pretty game, so Warwick definitely wants to reverse their fates tonight.
So much is about footwork. Nice catch right there by number 13, Lewis Clements. So Warwick needs more spurts like that as well.
Hey, you mentioned Clemens, a junior, 5'10", 151 pounds, does a great job just finding some space in the open field, making himself available for that pass and picking up some positive yardage. Plays like that are what they need, Greg. They don't need to go for big bombs down the field. Just work your way down the field, get into a rhythm, and then the plays are going to start to find
little confidence boosters.
There you go.
All right, Warwick back in the air. Way overthrown. Maybe a little too confident right there.
Yeah, just put a little too much gas on behind that pass right there. Just over the outstretched arms of DeMonte Good.
And you see what Warwick's trying to do, exploit the secondary of Denbigh.
And I think that's the way to go. You know, soften them up with some short passes and then see if you can exploit them down the field. Unfortunately, they were just a little bit off with the timing right there. But I do like the aggressiveness early on by the Warwick Raiders, Greg.
Warwick's had some great players in the past like Joe Slade, Stevie Cerrites, Michael Vick, and Marcus Vick. Of course, Michael Vick, quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another drop right there. Bad special teams. And the Raiders get it back.
Wow.
And we talked about the jitters. We were dead on the money.
That is a turnover that Denbigh could not afford right there. It's a lack of focus right there by the Patriots. And you know, we were right, Greg. You start from the beginning. You know, you mentioned off the top that they cannot afford these turnovers, and that's what they had right there, Greg. They lost their focus, and now we've got a turnover for the Patriots. It's like Butterfingers. I don't know if he was eating toast or some croutons or some croissants out there, but he wasn't able to secure the football.
If they're not focused now, they need to get focused because little plays like this can affect the entire ballgame. This is pretty an even game on paper, even though Warwick's only won one game.
Right. You know, the margin for error is so thin, Greg, that when you give them field position, it's a very bad move for the Patriots.
Especially close to the red zone. Pretty good skedaddle there by the Raiders. DeMonte Good.
And that's a name you're going to be hearing all night, folks. DeMonte Good, the senior running back, 5'10", 180 pounds. He's kind of like a little wrecking ball, a little bowling ball that they're going to throw up the middle of that Denbigh defense. So they've got to really get some pressure in the box and see if they can wrap up Good. Because if you let him get past that first tackle, he can be off to the races.
High school football in Newport News, no score. Excellent. Two of the oldest schools in Newport News. First it is Warwick, then Denbigh, then Menchville and Heritage and Woodside, both in their 20th year. Congratulations to Heritage and Woodside. Again, good defensive play by the Patriots. Of course, this month we've got Casey Vick's son on Sports Highlights with Ray Savage, the head coach at Menchville. Got a lot of great response from that, as well as his son. So the Savage family, the Vick family, represented on Sports Highlights on weekends at 9 a.m. and, of course, Mondays at 7, 2, and 7 on Cox Cable 47, 517 and nnpstv.com.
I'll tell you what, folks, this is our 25th year of exclusive prep sports on NNPS TV and nnpstv.com.
6:09 left in the first quarter, no score. Glad you're with us. Great audio and video by our crew. That aerial shot at the beginning was awesome, wasn't it?
That was an excellent job by our student crew here.
And this is a late run. Now, when you would call a late run, Nate, is you don't get your feet from underneath you. It was almost like he was really struggling to get his footwork.
Now, they tried to fool him on that draw play right there, and you just saw number 44.
No burst.
For the Patriots, Neil Anderson got back there, and they were going in reverse, Greg.
No Neil Armstrong there. Not going to the moon on that play.
I was going to say, he's going to say that was one small step for Warwick, one big defensive play for Denbigh.
Exactly. 5:27 left in the first quarter. No score. Should be a long field goal here, Nathaniel.
We're going to
You're
get our
looking at
first
it
look
basically about a 41-yard field goal. That's almost unheard of in high school.
Yeah, we're going to see if he's got the leg for it.
And no cigar there.
Not even close.
Nate won't even buy him a cup of coffee on that one.
Yeah,
now, don't forget, we got Nate's report card coming up in the fourth quarter. We got the atmosphere, which the weather makes it a little bit better. Now, that don't count, though. And, of course, the crew list, too.
And that was a nice effort by Connor Murphy, the kicker. Unfortunately, just not enough leg in that kick for him. And it's going to be a nice bit of field position right here for the Denbigh Patriots. After that turnover, they didn't give up the points. And, of course, folks, football has one home in Newport News. It's NNPS TV and NNPSTV.com.
Good catch, Nate. Denbigh with the football, going right to left in the white uniforms. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. And again, there's been no big play so far.
No, just a game of field position right there. You see another run by number 3, Casey Vick for the Denbigh Patriots, a name you're going to be hearing a lot, folks. Vick, the 5'11 senior. We're going to see what Vick can do out here in the game tonight. But Denbigh's been looking all season, and we had a chance to talk to Coach Harris before the game, Greg. They've been looking for that consistency, and we're going to see if they can keep things going tonight.
Denbigh likes that spread offense. You see it right there. Good example. We called it. And a nice extra effort by the Patriots. Number 6 for Denbigh. Donovan Johnson, DJ
Donnie Johnson did a good job on that second effort, like you mentioned, Greg. Warwick thought they had him wrapped up, but that second effort gave him a little bit of a surge, able to pick up some positive yardage.
Trying to get some momentum. Let's take a look at it again, folks.
You're going to see just a nice little pass to the flats right there. DJ does a good job making the first guy miss, breaks a couple tackles. Thought they had him down, but there you see that second effort, that surge. Nice job by Donnie Johnson.
No score. Great classic rivalry between Denbigh and Warwick. Denbigh on the year averaging 24 on offense a game, giving up 22. Warwick averaging 10 points on offense, giving up 31 a game.
And Denbigh, they've been able to put some points on the board, as you mentioned, Greg.
Been kind of even.
They just have not been able to stop anybody from scoring. Warwick, on the other hand, it's been very tough for them to generate offense. So we're going to see, Greg, it might end up being the first team to put some points on the board tonight. They might have that big advantage.
So again, the Newport News Schools trying to beat the Hampton Schools. The two losses for Denbigh, Hampton 38-0 and Kecoughtan 35-13.
And it would be very easy to kind of hang your head after two big losses like that. But it's a credit to the coach that these guys did not hang their heads and they're out here competing.
And a decent move right there by L.J. Taylor. Sometimes the running game is ahead of the passing game, even for the quarterbacks, too. You're not going to see many Aaron Brooks or Michael Vicks out here.
Right. You might see a Casey Vick out here, but
right.
You're not going to see a Michael Vick or an Aaron Brooks or even a Ronald Curry who played at Hampton. Just those classic quarterbacks that we've had over the years in this area. But I do think that there are some good quarterbacks, and I think that a kid like L.J. Taylor, he hasn't had the most experience, but I think he's learning on the job. And LJ at the end of the season is going to be a lot better quarterback than LJ at the beginning.
Blitz. Denbigh gets it. Denbigh survives the blitz. Nice catch there by number 6, respectively, Donovan Johnson. So you see the 1-2 punch there, again, Nate, of Taylor to Donovan Johnson.
This is a great screen pass, Greg. You see they fooled the Warwick defense, had him sucked in, and then right there just zips it right past him. DJ Donovan Johnson does a good job picking up the first down. Excellent job on the screen pass by L.J. Taylor. And, of course, folks, don't forget pizza and football for Zoli's.com.
Run up the middle. Fumble. We'll see what they're going to call it. Looks like they're going to call it down. I think that was a good call.
Denbigh catching a big break right there.
But Warwick's playing a lot more inspired tonight.
Let's take another look, folks, to see how that play unfolded there at the end. Good job by the Raider defense getting in there trying to knock that ball loose.
Yeah, I think his knee was down. Maybe right at the tip. It was
very close, though. Warwick
We're the only ones who got instant replay.
It's not.
Nobody else has got it but us.
It's not reviewable, Greg.
Here's LJ. Nowhere. Flags all over the place. But what you're seeing is a little bit extra step and pep for both teams, but they're playing erratic.
Yeah, and then we see a flag on the play. Both teams are rested, Greg, and while that gives you a little bit more energy, I think it also allows you to make more mistakes because you're trying too hard, because you have too much energy almost. And so both of these teams have to kind of settle down and find their rhythm.
And I always equate the first quarter like the first game of the year. That first quarter you need to just get all the kinks out, settle down. You really don't start playing football until the second, third, and fourth quarter.
Well, it's like when you leave the house, Greg. I mean, you don't just go 100 miles an hour out of the driveway.
Except for me, I forget everything. I have to make 5 trips back in the house.
You got to ease out of the driveway, and then you can put the gas on.
Because it's almost Sunday morning.
You got to ease on down that road.
You forget everything, and you have to go back in 4 or 5 times.
I'm telling you, sometimes I'm not a morning person.
You're exactly right. Nice screen again.
Wow.
Denbigh is opening up the hole, exposing Warwick secondary. There you see number 36, Keyshawn Chisholm.
Wow.
Exposing the secondary.
Chisholm was the key on this one. Nice job again. Just fooling Warwick with the screen pass about the third or fourth time we've seen that play this game, Greg. And there you see just wide open. Got a great block up front by DJ, and then just another great job by Warwick. L.J. Taylor has really shown some skill with this screen pass.
And, of course, a lot of these kids are wearing pink.
Of course, for breast cancer awareness and a wonderful, wonderful cause. And you got to give a tip of the cap to the kids as well as the coaches for their tribute to the cause.
They see the NFL players doing the same thing. Again, no score, wide open, anybody's ball game. See the cheerleaders there. We're at Todd Stadium in Newport News. Greg Bickaveras and Nate Milton for our 25th year of exclusive prep sports on NNPS TV and NNPSTV.com. Of course, Sports Scene on 1650 a.m. each Wednesday from noon to 1. Also on TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT. 1:35 left in the first quarter. We'll see what B2 Harrison Denbigh does in the beautiful white uniforms. And they keep it on the quarterback keeper. Wide open on the daylight. On the outside. It is a touchdown. Exposing the outside is number 15. LJ. Joseph
Taylor. Woodside transfer. Let's take a look at this, folks. Great job with the fake, the inside handoff, and just takes it. The quarterback option says, don't worry about it, folks. I got this. I'm going to get to the outside. Watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Ease on down the road. 6 points for the Denbigh Patriots. Great job by L.J. Taylor on that on that Denbigh offensive drive, Greg.
We'll see what the extra point happens. Again, good play right there by the Patriots. Flags all over the place. And what he did was nothing fancy, just ran on the outside.
No, well, that whole drive was nothing fancy. It was screen plays, it was inside runs, and then that last play you saw right there, just an inside.
In most cases, it's the run opens up the pass. This time the pass opened up the run, so it works both ways.
And LJ, did a great job of just, once he got to the outside, he hit that corner, and they weren't able to bring him down. Great series by Coach Harris and this Denbigh Patriot offense.
1:23 left in the first quarter. Greg Bickaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Denbigh's had some great players like Max Yates and Jeremiah White, Terrence Dingle, of course, Jamal Wells over the years. Great coaches, too. And the kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Denbigh. So Denbigh scoring first.
Denbigh drawing first blood, coming off of that QB option run by L.J. Taylor. 7-0 is your score. And they came so close, Greg, to losing that ball on that play that was almost a fumble. And to come away with 7 points, I know the Denbigh Patriots have got to be feeling really good. And, of course, Hampton Roads spells sports, NNPSTV.com.
Denbigh's had some great coaches over the years like Matt Boone from 75 to 87. John Quillen coached Denbigh. 88 and 89, Bob Schmidt from 90 to 95. A.C. Cawthorn, Tracy Harrod, of course, B2 Harris. A lot of consistency at Denbigh. Warwick as well. Jim Snow, Thad Madden, Bill Lyons, A.C. Cawthorn as well. A.C. Cawthorn coached Denbigh and Warwick. Tommy Riemann, Stan Sexton, of course, Juan Jackson as well.
And I tell you, it's all about, you mentioned the coaches. It's about that consistency, building a program, building a sense of tradition and a sense of pride that these young players can come out and live up to.
Special teams kick. Of course, the weather's cooperating, so it should be a really good game of football here the next 3 quarters or so. Glad you're with us here. Sports highlights archives on nnpstv.com. You look at the schedule, too, remaining for both these teams, too. There's no cakewalk in this district. You got Menchville, of course, and you got Kecoughtan, Gloucester, Hampton left for Warwick. And, of course, Denbigh's got Woodside, Bethel, Phoebus as well. So this is no cakewalk. And, of course, they've got Heritage, too. 8 of the 10 games for Denbigh are Todd Stadium. 6 of the 10 are right here at Warwick. So when you play your home and away, pretty is a neutralizing thing there. You see one of the assistant coaches for Denbigh.
And this is a very important, Greg, because you mentioned AC Coach Harrison right there.
And we were joking before the game. He totally agreed with what we said. He soaks everything in. He says, well, I'm going to take the win. I'm going to do it. If I'm going to take the loss, I'm going to do it. I don't need to talk to nobody. I put my heart and soul into this team, and I want to really just soak it in myself. And he's an example. He's not having no distractions.
No, and then that's the thing. Even though the record might not be where he wants it to be, you can tell this team is disciplined because he's there on the sideline.
Of course, Jim Snow, the coach of Warwick from 63 to 70, then Thad Madden, who they named the Con Madden Relays after, from 71 to 80. There you see the crowd right there. Of course, Bill Lyons, coach of Warwick from 81 to 94, made the postseason when Ray Savage played for him, who's now the head football coach at Menchville. Of course, Savage went to UVA, and great graphics there by Ray Price during the sports highlights for the month of October. For more, go to nnpstv.com. And we're even tweeting our football games now on Twitter. You notice that.
I tell you, and I love it. I love it. The social media aspect of things, being able to be connected. And, of course, folks, nnpstv.com, your one-stop spot for high school sports here. And, of course, you can tweet us at Greg Bick and at @8MOZAIK.
And, of course, that's it, NNPS Telecom Network. And from there, folks, you can tweet our programs. I've already tweeted 2 of our football games already. Great job of the staff and the students with that YouTube channel.
And these are the 11th and 12th graders, folks, juniors and seniors that are providing you with this broadcast tonight and throughout the course of the year. So great job. Tip of the cap to the young men and women who are bringing you the sights and sounds of this game tonight.
Of course, the kids' little spirit there in the fall. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. It is Denbigh 7, Warwick nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
While on the school bus, students should always behave, keeping their hands, heads, and any other objects inside the bus so as not to distract the driver from keeping their eyes on the road. Motorists must stop for a school bus and remain stopped until the bus's lights are off and begins to move again. Here at Transportation, our number one objective is the safety of the children.
By Fazoli's.com.
Fazoli's.com, pizza and football. That's a great combination, Greg.
Scoring recap, Nate.
Let's have the scoring recap presented by Fazoli's. 1 score on the board for the Denbigh Patriots in the first quarter. A QB option run by L.J. Taylor. They made the point after. 7-0 is your score. The Denbigh Patriots on top of the Warwick Raiders as we head into the second quarter, Greg.
7-zip. 12-minute quarters in the Virginia High School League. Friday Night Football. Still, God, I can't get over that drone shot at the beginning. Unbelievable. Almost like being on a roller coaster.
I tell you what, we talk about the audio and visual work that the students and the staff do here at Channel 47 at nnpstv.com. And, man, these kids are learning things that some colleges aren't doing right now. And so the work that they're doing is just preparing them for future endeavors. And it's great that we're able to bring you the sights and sounds of this ball game tonight.
Warwick going right to left, down 7-0. Started the second quarter. Again, delays again. Referee Dennis Hicks. Just getting started in the second quarter. Tell your friends about nnpstv.com. Over a dozen different sports have been showcased by the staff over the years on NNPS TV. The bomb, incomplete. I don't think you really need to be throwing bombs right now.
No, you got to give Warwick credit, though, for trying something different, because I think they've got to find the balance. That's something that we talked to Coach Harrison before the game, and he was like, this is a team that is still trying to find consistency, a team that is still kind of trying to find its identity. Are they a power running team? Are they a passing team? You know, what are their strengths? And so when you're in that position where you don't know who you are, Greg, sometimes you just got to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
You don't want to go in the witness protection program. Don't know what your name is, huh, Nate?
No, you
can call different names, Nathaniel, Nate, right?
Look up, who am I? What am I doing here?
Felt like that last weekend in the rain.
Oh man, don't even remind me of that rain
that was
last
some
week.
tough rain.
Felt like Orange Juice Jones walking in the rain.
7-0 Denbigh. 11:54 left here in quarter number 2. Of course, I hope you enjoyed our first 2 games we did. Menchville Heritage, Warwick Woodside, our 25th year of high school football coverage, and different sports over the years as well by our great staff and students. What do we got coming up at a halftime here, Nate?
Oh, halftime we have the homecoming for the Warwick Raiders. It is always this time of year, homecoming festivities, so the folks can look forward to seeing that at home. But, of course, don't forget, folks, The Score is presented by Fazoli's, Fazoli's.com. Pizza and football. The score currently 7-0. The Denbigh Patriots leading over the Warwick Raiders.
Punt by the Raiders and special teams on 4th and 13 at their own 13. Bad snap, but he gets it off in a really bad punt. Nate, you and I punted better than that during practice, but he got a nice roll.
Yeah, he got a fortunate roll, Greg.
How about our punts before practice?
Yeah, before the game, Greg and I were able to punt, get out there. Still got a little life left in the old legs. I think we tied. We kicked it about 25, 30 yards. Not bad.
We still have a little juice left in us.
Just got to see if we got any eligibility left.
7-0, Denbigh. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Denbigh last year went 3-7. The year before they went 8-4, made the playoffs. In 2012 they went 2-8. 2011 they went 0-10.
Yeah, so you started to see a little bit of improvement with this Denbigh team. Of course, that 2013 team with Terrence Dingle at quarterback was their biggest improvement. But it's been an up-and-down struggle for Coach B2 Harris. And I think, we talked to him before the game, Greg, and he said one of the things that they're finally getting around to is that offensive line. The offensive line is finally coming back together, and you're going to see it pay dividends with this offense.
Dingle might have been the best quarterback in Denbigh history.
He's up there. He's certainly up there. Dingle was definitely a catalyst for them in 2013. He passed for over 2,000 yards and 29 touchdowns, and he was also a running threat. So Dingle definitely one of the best to ever put on that Patriots uniform.
Denbigh just keeping to the ground. And what Denbigh's doing, nothing fancy here. You don't want to get a little scuffle here going on early. Some of the players getting a little aggressive, but, it's not bad to be physical during a football game.
Yeah, you
got to be physical. You got to, but playing good sportsmanship.
Right. You want to be aggressive. You want to walk right up to the line, but you don't want to cross the line.
Right.
And I think that's what our officials did a good job of stopping anything before it really got out of hand right there. Because these kids are out here trying hard. They've been bundled up inside all week, and they want to get out here and play some football and show that emotion.
Make some noise.
Well, I think everybody feels like that, Greg. Sometimes you get cooped up. You're sick and tired of being at home or in the office all day. You just want to get outside.
I agree. Shotgun, 3rd and 7 for Denbigh in the white uniforms going left to right. LJ throws it. Complete.
Wow.
Nice catch. Nice extra run across the 20 by number 80 for the Patriots.
Great job by the Patriots, and that was KJ Kevin Anderson Jr., the freshman wide receiver.
Let's take a look at it again.
Let's take a look at KJ
Great
right
catch,
here.
but a good run after the catch.
Yeah, the run after the catch really was what made it. Here you can see just a simple play. He finds Kevin Anderson in the flats. Great job. Just leads them right there. Nice job getting it in there. And then, like you said, Greg, the run after the catch, KJ making plays happen. Kevin Anderson Jr., big catch for the freshman. Patriots first down. This is that kind of slow, methodical drive we saw from Denbigh in the first quarter, Greg. They're kind of wearing Warwick's defense down, keeping them out there on the field.
Just run and pound it. 10-22, first and 10. LJ and company for Denbigh. Trying to get to 4-2 in the year.
And after a rough start, Denbigh is starting to get some momentum, 2 wins back-to-back. This would be a great win for Denbigh to give him some momentum.
Timeout for play right here. Of course, some great coaches over the years for Warwick.
Of course, for Warwick, you talk about Jim Snow, you talk about Thad Madden, Bill Lyons, of course, A.C. Cawthorn, and then Tommy Reeman. Who can forget Tommy Reeman? Stan Sexton. Just some great coaches over the years on that Raider sideline, Greg.
7-0 right now, Denbigh 10-22. Warwick's trying to not let this game get too far away from them.
Right. This is a very crucial series because, if you're down 7, that's one thing, Greg. But if you get down 10 points, 14 points, then it becomes a little bit harder to dig yourself out of that hole. So this is a very key series for Coach Harrison and this Raider defense.
And you don't want to get down 2 or 3 scores.
No, and right now, you've got the crowd behind you. It's homecoming. But if that score starts to get a little lopsided, the crowd's going to get quiet real fast.
The crowd is just so deafening right now. 10-22. First and goal at the 9 in the red zone, presented by Fazoli's.com. Denbigh trying to capitalize on their 7-0 lead. Coached by B2 Harris. Warwick coached by Corey Harrison. Nothing there. Warwick went 2-8 last year. They went 0-10 2 years ago. 4-6 in 2012. Key loss was Christopher Young. Last made the postseason in 2011. They're led by DJ Nunn, DeMonte Good, and Elijah Anderson.
And I'm looking for big things from this Warwick defense this year, Greg, because to me, that's the unit that has to step up. We saw that last play, a nice stop by Deshaun Fauntleroy in that front 5 right there. But Warwick's defense has got to step up and set the tone for the game. Hello.
Nowhere. Good defense.
I think they were paying attention to me, Greg. Great job by Warwick penetrating, getting into the backfield. You saw Fauntleroy in on the play, as well as number 51, Malcolm Hartwell. Great job by the Raiders to get in there and really put some pressure on Denbigh.
Absolutely. Hey, a 90 is not bad in a report card, right?
The 90
still gets you an A.
Yeah, 90 is actually a pretty good mark.
Still mess up a little bit and get an A.
Yeah.
Kind of like me and you every week.
You can't always be perfect, Greg.
Well, we're close. You and I always get A's, right? Maybe an A- sometimes.
Hey, look, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rule number 1, we always get an A. Rule number 2, Greg and Nate always get an A.
There you go.
Look at rule number 1. Good defense there by number 32 for the Raiders, respectively. Wearing Jack Tatum's old number, Jeremy Campusano.
All right. Jeremy's getting in there, making a nice stop on that play. Denbigh, to their credit, though, I like the way Denbigh's been playing today, Greg. They haven't gotten outside of themselves. It's been a very methodical, very slow-paced offense, simple
But
runs.
they don't want to come out here without a touchdown. They want to get 6 points, while Warwick doesn't want them to score at all.
If Warwick can hold them to 3 points, I think that's a victory for the Raiders.
And we'll see what's going to happen right up here on this 4th down. Now, one thing about high school football, number 1, the biggest erratic stuff is special teams, especially kicking and punting.
Special teams is not a guarantee.
No, not even this from about 24 yards out. The kick is up, and it is all good. You notice how the officials always hesitate to put their arms up? There's no doubt. It was good.
Yeah,
10-0.
I think they love the drama. They know
they're
drama.
on TV as well. So, Nate, scoring recap presented by Fazoli's.com.
Scoring recap. Thus far, it's been all Patriots in the first quarter. We started off with a run by L.J. Taylor. 7-0 was your score in the first quarter. And as we saw moments ago, a field goal attempt that was up and good by the Patriots. Your score
is 10-0.
10-0. The Warwick Raiders are trailing the Denbigh Patriots.
Yep. 10-zip, folks.
10-zip Denbigh.
Just don't give them too many more points now like the graphic did.
Yeah. And, of course, pizza and football, Fazoli's.com. It's a winning combination. There you see the score, 10-0. The Denbigh Patriots on top of the Warwick Raiders here in the second quarter.
Beautiful field. The field looks like almost like a golf course out there.
And considering the weather,
Look
like
at
the
it. Just
field looks
beautiful. This
excellent
is
right
like-
now, Greg.
You know, after tonight, 60% of the season's done, including a bye week with the rain.
Wow.
And it looks like it's the first week almost.
Great shout out to the crew
There's no
here at Todd
leaves or no
Stadium.
branches out there, you know?
No, like it does look like the 18th hole out there.
It does. Almost better. Really good kick right there. Where's that been all night? Fumble again, but Warwick recovers. And across the 20, there he goes.
Hello.
DeMonte, you know it's good.
It's all good. Great return by DeMonte. Excellent job right there. And this is a game of field position. When you got two teams that are so evenly matched, field position could be that determining factor.
8:05 left to intermission. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Referee Dennis Hicks and his crew. Peninsula Football Officials Association. Tell your friends about nnpstv.com. Greg Bick on Twitter. Interact, please. N8 Mosaic. And the score is 10-0, presented by Fazoli's.com. Pizza and football, Fazoli's.com. 25th year of exclusive prep sports. Great coaches over the years like Ted Baycoat at Ferguson, Mike Smith still at Hampton, Dennis Kozlowski at Bethel, Bill D at Phoebus, Charlie Nuttycombe at Menchville, Matt Boone at Denbigh, John Quillen at Heritage and Denbigh Bow, some of the iconic coaches, Tommy Raymond at Ferguson, Warwick, and Gloucester.
Yep.
And I said it during the broadcast last week, that's what Newport News really misses, a presence like Raymond.
Yeah, we've got some young up-and-coming coaches. Danny Dotson's been at Woodside for a long time.
Since 99.
Very quietly, B2 Harris, he's in his 8th year at Denbigh. And so I think, the footwork, the framework is there. Massenburg at Heritage. I think the framework is there for some of these young coaches to step up to that next level. But, those are big shoes to fill when you talk about a Tommy Raymond.
Or John Quillen, who coached Denbigh, and his team in 89 beat Hampton, where his grandson's the quarterback right now. And of course, Quillen's son played for Kickingham. You see Warwick in the maroon and red. Beautiful uniforms. The great Thad Madden let me go with him on his last game coaching Warwick. I've said that story before. He also coached in Huntington. Warwick's taking another timeout. And what you're seeing is Coach Harrison for Warwick's being very methodical, doesn't want this score to escalate.
Right, but it's a danger, Greg, because you could fall into that trap. If you're playing methodical and you're behind, sooner or later you're going to run out of time to get back into the game. And you see Coach Harrison coaching these boys up. They got to play tough. They've got to stay within themselves, but you don't want to let Denbigh get too far ahead of you where you can't come back.
And one thing about football, it's high energy. You cannot, injuries happen when you slack up a little bit, or, when you don't try as hard, or if you're off balance a little bit. You got to be proactive all the time. You don't want to use your head because you want to get a concussion. But the bottom line, it's a very physical sport.
Yeah, it is a physical sport, so you got to give credit to these young men out there who are playing not only for the love of themselves, but for the love of their schools. They see Warwick celebrating homecoming 2015, folks. But the Raiders are out here playing hard.
Denby's battery is full. Warwick's running on 50% right now.
Warwick's on 50%. Warwick's got to get like Drake. They got to get charged up.
There you go.
Warwick said they started from the bottom, now they're here, Greg.
But you don't want Meek Mills rapping about either one of these teams. Because it's not too pretty right now. Good skedaddle there by number 8 for Warwick, respectively. Lucas.
Nice job by Zion Lucas.
Gotta love that name.
Marching on to Zion. Zion Lucas, great job with that QB keeper.
Let's take a look at it again.
Take a look. Zion Lucas, a junior, 6'3", 180 pounds. There you see, just like a great job, like you said, just flipped it to Lucas. And
he has his strides are a lot like OJ's. I mean, he runs very similar to how O.J. Simpson ran. That was a compliment.
He's
O.J. a big stride.
He's got the size.
Eric Dickerson kind of.
Eric Dickerson, exactly. That's
injury right there.
Dickerson, 6'3", he's able to pick up a lot of space in just a short amount of time with those long legs. And
O.J. ran just like that. Play for the Bills, of course.
And that's a great name. He's got a great football name, too, Zion Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Greg Bickaveras, Nate Milton. Of course, cramps can happen early. And, of course, like we said from the outset, both these teams have been idle for a couple weeks. And when you're idle all summer, football is so much about conditioning, nutrition, exercise, balance, being in the right mental state, too, because if having a bad day can affect your whole team, too.
You got to be right mentally and physically. And they see the crowd here at Todd Stadium looking on, hoping for the best for this young man.
No jackets yet, but there will be. Don't forget, a couple more months, we'll see Star Wars again. Looking forward to that.
Star Wars coming back. It's going to be a great way to close out the year, close out 2015. And I'm excited to see all the old faces return.
Yeah.
Except
Chewbacca, Darth Vader, and Yoda, but who knows?
You never know.
Those two might come out as a shadow or something.
You never know. Does anybody really stay dead on Star Wars?
Yeah. How about let's talk about college and NFL, too, while we got a break. Surprises. Virginia Tech and UVA are both struggling.
Yeah, Virginia Tech and UVA struggling. I'm a big fan of Mike London, but I think this has been a tough year for him, for that squad up in Charlottesville. Tech, on the other hand, they had big expectations to at least try to make some noise.
Lost their quarterback early.
And, yeah, they struggled early. But I think there's no clear-cut favorite in college football this year. Ohio State is good, but they've got some issues they got to work out.
USC's already struggled.
Yep.
Lost to Washington.
Texas and
Texas is really having a bad year.
Texas is really struggling with Charlie Strong. UCLA is interesting. Utah. So college football is it's one of those sports where you can't tell. Alabama's had an early loss, but they look like they may be the best team in the sport.
And Georgia, not real either.
No.
Cameron McFarland got back up on his feet for Denbigh.
And that's a great thing to see for that young man. Hopefully he can get back out here on this field and help his team out. But, yeah, you always want to see these kids able to leave the field under their own power.
And the score is 10-0. Denbigh, presented by Fazoli's.com. Thank you, Michelle, and the great staff at Fazoli's. Greg Bickaveras, Nate Milton.
That pizza had me charged up, Greg.
Yes, it does. You had about, 3 slices tonight?
At least.
And see, it's not like Warwick's doing nothing spectacular. Denby's not doing a lot, but Denbigh made a couple big plays on those screen passes that open up the touchdown by number 15, LJ.
Well, Denbigh has taken advantage of some of the mistakes Warwick has made.
And they're milking the clock, too.
And Warwick got the early turnover early on off of that punt, and they weren't able to turn that into points. So Warwick has not taken advantage of the mistakes Denby's made, while on the other hand, Denby's been able to turn Warwick's mistakes into 10 points. And that's pretty much the story of the game right now.
10-zip. You're watching Prep Football on Cox Cable 47-517. Nowhere there by the Raiders. But Denbigh might, if their offense is struggling, then their defense and special teams are going to have to step up.
Yeah, the Denby's defense, Warwick's defense hadn't been looking too bad today. It's just a matter of, can the offense help out? Can the offense put some type of offense together and get some type of rhythm with this formation? Because up to this point, they haven't really been able to get anything going.
And you want to get the players on the bench a little charged up, too, because the players on the field look for them for support. They see their body language down. That can affect the players, too.
And we've seen this time and time again here this season, Greg. Sometimes when a team is down, the whole mood from the bench, the whole mood from the sidelines can affect that. So
they're idle.
It's up to Coach Hairston to keep these young guys motivated, keep their heads and their hearts in the game.
Because winning is contagious, but so is losing.
And it's about that attitude. Your attitude sometimes defines your altitude, defines how high you can go. And we'll see, because I think Coach Hairston has the right attitude. It's just a matter of putting everything together out here.
Delay of game, 10-0 Denbigh.
And that is not what the Raiders needed right there.
Of course, we brought to you Menchville Heritage, Warwick Woodside, and we got Denbigh Warwick tonight. And Warwick right there tasted Denby's own medicine. Nice catch right there by number 3. DeMonte, it's good.
DeMonte good. Warwick giving Denbigh a taste of their own medicine, the screen pass. Here you're going to see.
Almost like having Carl Daniels here instead of Ray Price.
I'm telling you, somebody put the CD in the car changer. Here you go. Nice job. Just a great job of seeing where Good is, letting the line set up, and bam, as soon as Good gets it, he's already looking downfield, and right there at the last minute.
Good behind the tackle.
Great job tackling by Denbigh, because if he didn't make that tackle, Good would have been off to the races.
But it goes back again, Nate. Mental mistakes will kill you all the time. With 5:27 left to intermission. Don't forget, Sports Scene every Wednesday noon to 1 on News Talk 1650. TuneIn.com, folks, Download the TuneIn.com app. You can listen to Sports Scene every Wednesday, 12 to 1 on News Talk 1650 during your lunch break, or just listen on the phone or the computer. Of course, all powered by Fazoli's.com and Hampton Roads Online Mall.com and GJBTV.com. Browse, shop, visit. Of course, those two present the Dr. Mary V. Bickaberis Memorial Tennis Tournament in the spring.
And
hopefully you'll be part of the tennis coverage this year.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that, Greg. Now you see again the score, 10-0, Denbigh on top of the Warwick Raiders. And right there, we just saw in that last possession by the Warwick Raiders, of course, tweet us at Greg Bick and at in the number 8 MOZ.
Twitter is just dominating right now.
Twitter is dominating.
I would say Twitter's 1, Facebook is still 2.
Yeah.
Instagram is 3, although I'm not a big fan of it. LinkedIn is 4.
Yeah.
And YouTube is the best audio-video service.
Yeah, and then we just see the way. There you see, speaking of audio and video, DeMonte Good not happy at all with what's transpiring on the field. But, yeah, social media has just kind of changed the way that people consume sports and entertainment.
The fact that we can tweet games is unbelievable. Because you get the link, all you do is click the link.
Not only can you tweet games, but you have some college players going back to Texas tweeting that they want to transfer at halftime of the Texas game.
Wow. And the discipline is not there. If you don't have the discipline, that's what happens.
No.
You're like, help, SOS.
Oh, man. It's like I feel so bad for that team.
And football is such a long sport that 1 week can last a lifetime.
Because it's not like baseball, it's not even like basketball where you have 1 or 2 games or 3 games a week where, you can kind of shake it off and move on to the next one.
Speaking of which, glad to see Kobe back for the Lakers. And Denbigh on the outside.
Well, speaking of Kobe, look, Denbigh out there looking like the Black Mamba, taking a lot of shots down the field. Warwick is got to find some way to kind of stem this tide because they can't allow Denbigh to score again, Greg, because if they do, I think they're going to end up in a hole that they're going to have a lot of trouble digging out of.
Denbigh right now 10-0 with 4:59 left to intermission. 2nd and 3. Nice throw and catch. I'm telling you, LJ's got some zip on the ball. 3 facts about B2 Harris, folks. Went to Ferguson, East Carolina, ran for the city council.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with not only the football coach that B2 Harris has turned into, but also the young man that he's turned into and how he cares about the community.
He's not much younger than we are. I mean, we're young, too.
Yeah, well, I'm still young, Greg. I'm going to hold on to it for as long as I can, Greg.
Exactly.
As long as I can keep making it up these stairs, I'm going to call myself young.
Where's the elevator when you need it? LJ fooling everybody. Didn't fool us, though. And he is all the way down the sideline for a burst of speed touchdown. That was track at its best on football as number 15, LJ Joseph Taylor exposes Warwick. Unbelievable.
Amazing.
It's like he burst his speed as he saw that he had the daylight.
And that was a heartbreaking play for the Raiders right there. Let's take a look and see how L.J. Taylor explodes and makes another score for the Denbigh Patriots on this replay, folks. Again, Greg, simple play. They've been doing this all night. Just
started off slow.
Simple option right there.
They could have gotten him right there.
Just looks like he's looking to pick up the first down.
Too.
Still looking downfield. And right here, he's going to hit that edge. And they should have tackled him right there. They don't bring him down. They don't even get a hand on him. Fast as fast can be. I'm the gingerbread man. You can't catch me.
Like they were just watching him run.
Wow.
The extra point is up and it's good. 17-0.
L.J. Taylor, and the Woodside transfer.
The scoring recap presented by Fazoli's.com.
And it's been all L.J. Taylor. L.J. Taylor started off in the first quarter with an option run. 7-0 was your score at the end of the first quarter. And in the second quarter, we've seen a field goal by Irvin Sanchez, which brought it to 10-0. And now, as we saw moments ago, another option run by the quarterback, L.J. Taylor, the transfer from Woodside. He runs it in again. 17-0 is your score. The Denbigh Patriots are spoiling the Warwick Raiders homecoming celebration, Greg.
And still 4:43 left to intermission. Unbelievable. They put the gas on here in the second quarter.
How quickly things have turned.
Of course, Denbigh is a 4A team. Warwick is a 5A team, which means absolutely nothing. All these districts are being realigned. It still doesn't beat the old Peninsula District.
No. To me,
not even close.
Yeah, to me, it's always going to be the Peninsula District because you can't mess up
these are Peninsula schools.
The classic
from
rivalries and the classic matchups. That's what it was all about, Greg. Back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, you look back in the stretch of the 70s, Bethel won the state championship 74, Hampton 75, Bethel 76, Hampton 77. You're not going to see that much anymore of that.
No. I mean, Bethel and Hampton are still good, but you're not going to see that type of domination.
Not great, yep. But we're going to have William Beverly on Sports Highlights. He's the coach of the Bruins. So Warwick needs to regroup and score something before intermission. You got to remember, in the last 3 games, Warwick's only scored 6 points. 31-0 shutout by Bethel, 42-6 loss to Phoebus, and on our airwaves was 42-0 against Woodside. Denbigh's last 3 games, lost to Kickingham, beat Gloucester, beat Menchville. Totally opposite. These teams are going in different directions, and we're seeing that right before our eyes right now.
Right. You know, it started off as an even matchup. Now Denby's starting to distance himself, and this is a crucial play for Warwick, Greg. I know one of your favorite songs back in the day was Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Well, for Coach Hairston, it's 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes to get some points on the board because your team is in trouble. You've got to stem the tide right now.
And Warwick's trying to listen to what you said on a nice run right there up the middle. And right there you saw Good trying to do something good.
And DeMonte Good is a weapon that they should be using more of. To me, he's a guy that can get you 5, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 yards at a time and really put this Denby defense on their heels.
17-0 is the score. Warwick with the football. Good again. You got time to run it right now, but come the second half, you need to pass a little bit.
Right, that's why this drive is so important. I think they need to soften up this Denby defense running with Good, and then you bring those guys, the Denby defenders,
they got a little
up into
gravy
the box
right now, but the second half you don't have any gravy.
Yeah,
it's all like the hourglass is ticking.
The sands of the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. You know, they got to wear them down now, and the more you wear them down with that run, it'll open up your pass.
And we got Halloween coming up, so Nate and I will talk about our favorite candy in the second half. Top 3 candies for you, top 3 candies for me. Hard to believe.
And apples are not allowable on the list, Greg.
No.
To anybody out there for Halloween, don't get a kid's apple.
I used to have a neighbor that gave out nickels. I wish I could have gone trick-or-treating and gotten nickels. 3:40 left to intermission.
Yes, people are funny. I know some people give out like gum or dental floss. Like, no, that's not.
I'll return that and get my money back.
That's not what the kids want at Halloween.
They want chocolate candy, peanut butter. Walk again on the ground. You know, this might not be too bad because they're just trying to get their confidence. Warwick's confidence is just battered right now.
It has not been an easy year for the Raiders. You know, it started off rough. They
got the win in the first game against Granby.
And they've had a couple big blowout losses since then. And so, you know, you got a team that's relatively young, and you got a coach that's just trying to keep these guys together, keep them focused. Now you see
they went 2-8 last year.
DeMonte Good, one of the few seniors on this squad, he's got to be one of the leaders for Coach Hairston this year.
Denby's already equaled what they won last year. They only won 3 games last year. Great run by Good across the 40. Again, you're getting across the midfield, but are you going to score? They're showing that they can get across but not close the deal.
Yeah, well, they can move the ball, Greg. They've shown us they can move the ball, but can they score? Can they get into the end zone? And thus far, they haven't been able to.
Warwick has got the power I defense, 4-2-5, strength is running, weakness not closing or not scoring enough either. Denby, of course, likes to spread offense, 4-2 defense, which you're seeing. Strength is defense for the Patriots, but they've been giving up 22 a game. Weakness, of course, a little bit of a line play, according to B2 Harris. Nate and I always have a practice of talking to the coaches before the games. We've had both these gentlemen on Sports Highlights. Mondays at 7, 2, and 7, weekends at 9 a.m. Greg Bick at Twitter, N8 Mosaic on Twitter.
And again, both of these coaches, great guys. And it kind of reminds me, like we were saying, Greg, of this kind of new wave of coaches, like Coach Savage at Menchville, you know, who's having a tough year in his own right. But I think Coach Savage, if he decides to stick around, could be somebody to take that school in a new direction. And there you see Twitter, folks, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at Nate Mosaic, folks. Check us out, give us a holler, and we'll holler back at you.
It always takes two to interact.
There you go.
Twitter's nothing without interaction.
And no, it is not. And here's some more interaction. You can watch sports highlights Monday at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. And, of course, Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Sports highlights here on Cox Channel 47, Verizon Fios 17, and NNPSTV.com.
And Nate and I, of course, love that Mendoza girl for ESPN doing a great job in the baseball postseason.
I'm telling you, man.
Great job
To
by
me,
Mendoza.
baseball is so much fun in the postseason. You know, you never know what's going to happen. In October, anything can happen.
And this year, what I'm going to remember about there, you see good, not much good there, but all the big market teams made it. The Yankees and the Mets made it.
Yep.
The Dodgers made it. The Cubs made it.
Yep.
So Madden and the Cubs are doing really well.
And
that's a Joe Madden.
Joe
not Madden, folks.
And I think you got to give credit to Theo Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to bring that team back and
from the Red
revitalize
Sox to the
Red
Cubs.
Sox and now the Cubs. If he can win a ring in Chicago,
he will be a saint. 2 minutes left till halftime. Shotgun. 2nd and 9. Warwick. Good. Nowhere.
Wow.
Now that's when you want to run on the outside. You need to mix it up a little bit now. Get creative.
That was great penetration by the Denbigh Patriots, and they were led by Ron Livingston, Dr. Livingston, I presume, with a nice tackle in the backfield.
You sure don't want to see Dr.
This is what
Phil
we
out
talked
here.
about, Greg. Warwick can move the ball, but they've been moving backwards by Denbigh.
Have they, Dr. Phil?
Well, you're moving backwards, and you need to look forward. I don't think, Coach Harrison, you're looking in the past, and you got to move forward because the view from behind is never going to change, guys.
And all people are going to remember is one word, that's the scoreboard.
There's the scoreboard. You know, you want to look at the scoreboard and make sure your numbers are right and not wrong, everybody.
There's a screen pass. It's worked so well for Denbigh, but for Warwick, they don't get much there. Nice zip on the ball. Got to have zip, Nate. DJ Nunn.
DJ Nunn with it's a nice touch on the ball, but of course, that was Curtis Lucas, number 65 for the Denbigh Patriots, in there on the tackle. Great job by Denbigh sniffing out that screen pass. They said, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You're not going to fool me again.
With 1:07 left till halftime, it's Denbigh 17, Warwick nothing. Warwick needs to do something in these 67 seconds.
Even a field goal would be a moral victory at this point.
Even a
Greg.
safety.
Something. Just put some points on the board so you can go into halftime, and it's a long halftime with the homecoming festivities. You can go into the halftime break and have some positive momentum.
Because like I said, Warwick's only scored, coming to this game, the last 3 games, 6 points. That was against Phoebus.
Yeah.
So their morale is down right now. It is what it is. You can't lie. The football game is what it is. It's 48 minutes of gridiron action. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose.
Right.
Rarely do you see a tie.
No, and there you see Coach Harrison and the staff trying to get these guys motivated for this final minute of play in the first half. They need some points on the board, even like we said, Greg, if it's just a field goal or something, they need something positive to go into the break with. The cheerleaders hoping for some positive scores here.
Everybody on their smartphones and iPhones these days. Who was it? Karl Malone still using a flip phone?
Karl Malone still uses a flip phone, so at least that's one person whose phone is older
And
than
Andrew
mine.
Luck, I think, even does. But you see him in more commercials now.
I tell you, the phone it's not a phone anymore. It's a computer.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
17-0. Warwick nowhere. Manhandled was number 12 for the Raiders. DJ Nunn. Good defense there by the Patriots.
Wow. Speaking of computers, that was an error right there. You're going to see Control-Alt-Delete coming through the line. Number 44, the senior Neil Anderson does a great job.
And what I liked about that was a clean tackle. Great point there, Nate. Very clean tackle by Neil Anderson. No Neil Armstrong.
No.
It was a very clean tackle with 1:03 left.
And no Neil Armstrong, but I think the quarterback felt like he was on the moon after that hit, Greg.
Yeah. Again, the bottom line is Warwick doesn't do anything.
Yeah, again, Warwick leaves empty-handed. And again, going back to that tackle by Anderson, good form like you mentioned. Wrapped him up, ran through him, drove him to the ground. And that's what you want to see. You want to see hard-hitting defense, but not dirty defense.
17-0. Denbigh with the ball with 63 seconds left till halftime. A lot of clock stoppages in this first half. We've gone 59 minutes as we speak right now. to the cheerleaders for Warwick. Of course, Warwick Athletic Director Jenny Nuttycombe. For Denbigh, Brian Weaver, former president of the Peninsula Sports Club, which yours truly is a board member, and of course Ray Price is a member. There's a throw, overthrown, but could you imagine they would have scored that?
Wow.
Incomplete right there, intended for number 6, Donovan Johnson, who's been his number 1 target.
Yeah.
That would have really just put a damper in homecoming right there.
I mean, that almost could have been a backbreaker if he was able to connect with DJ on that.
That was like a balloon popper.
You know, not only did Warwick not score, but if they had just given up another deep score on the other end, that's hard to come back from. And, of course, folks, tell your friends about nnpstv.com.
See the officials right there trying to get control of this game. You never want to see the officials dominate a football game.
No, you know, you want to see the players decide the game. And
they should be seen and not heard.
Yes.
Denbigh just keeping on the ground. Smart there by B2 Harris' squad. Final 45 seconds left before we go to halftime. It's all Denbigh so far. Don't forget Nate's report card coming up in the fourth quarter. Atmosphere in the fourth quarter. Crew list in the fourth quarter. We already did the uniforms, very popular. Everybody agreed with our uniforms.
And it's all about those classic colors that you see.
These are two of the best uniforms in the 5 Newport News schools. I love these 2 uniforms. 17-0 Denbigh. Glad you're with us for prep coverage right here on NNPS TV and nnpstv.com. And that'll be it, folks. We're at halftime right now. It is the Denbigh Patriots spoiling Warwick. Game so far. We're at halftime. Great graphic right there by the crew. 17-0 Denbigh. We'll come back, introduce halftime after these messages. Stay tuned.
Aviation Academy offers a variety of hands-on experiences. Chooses select students to create a great small community. Is located at an airport for applied learning. And is career-oriented for students who are going to pursue aviation in their future. For more information, please contact the Aviation Academy at 757-886-2745.
All right, Nate, 17-0. Denbigh all over Warwick.
Denbigh all over the Raiders right now. Warwick has to go into the locker room and figure out something, figure out a way to get back into this game. We're about to see a big homecoming celebration here at the half, so the fans are going to be back into it. We'll see if the Raiders can get back into this game, Greg.
All right, enjoy the halftime festivities, folks.
time entertainment, we are proud to present the Warwick High School Punch Career Band.
We are now going to introduce our homecoming chorus. Mr. Freshman is Kendall Hinton. Kendall is escorted by his mother, Lindsay Hinton. Kendall's extracurricular activities include baseball. Kendall would like to pursue a career in the medical or technology field. Kendall would like to thank his mom, dad, grandpa, and all of the teachers and coaches who have been there for him. Congratulations, Mr. Freshman. Miss Freshman is Joy Osborne. Joy is escorted by her brother, Michael King. Joy's extracurricular activities include cheerleading. Joy would like to be a nurse, and she would like to thank her family. Congratulations, Miss Freshman. Mr. Sophomore is Jeremy Campusano. Jeremy is escorted by his brother, Luis Garcia. Jeremy's extracurricular activities include football and track. Jeremy would like to attend West Virginia University and play football. Jeremy would like to thank his family, coaches, and teammates. Congratulations, Mr. Sophomore. Ms. Sophomore is Kiana Batad. Kiana is escorted by her brother Terrell Batad. Kiana plans to go to medical school and become a licensed practical nurse. Kiana would like to thank her mom for believing in her and allowing her to follow her dreams. Congratulations, Miss Sophomore. Mr. Junior is Juan Guerrero. Juan is escorted by his sister Paula Saucedo. Juan's extracurricular activities include soccer, where he is a member of the Warwick team. Juan would like to attend Virginia Commonwealth University and eventually own his own business. Juan would like to thank his mother, father, and sister. Congratulations, Mr. Junior. Miss Junior is Diamond Ingram. Diamond is escorted by her grandmother, Jacqueline Ingram. Diamond's extracurricular activities include cheerleading. Diamond would like to attend James Madison University and major in biochemistry. Diamond would like to thank her grandmother, Jacqueline, and her boyfriend, Juan. Congratulations, Miss Junior. I am now going to announce our 12th grade homecoming king and queen candidates. Our first candidate for homecoming king is DeMonte Good. DeMonte is escorted by his brother, Kevin Good. DeMonte's extracurricular activities include football and track and field. DeMonte plans to attend college and major in sports medicine and also play football. DeMonte would like to thank his parents, Coach Harrison, Coach Scorpio, and his brothers. Congratulations, 12th grade candidate. Our first candidate for homecoming queen is Mary Odom. Mary is escorted by her father, Larry Odom. Mary's extracurricular activities include running track for the Warwick team. Mary plans on going to college and becoming an independent woman. Mary would like to thank her father, family, and close friends. Congratulations to our homecoming queen candidate. Our next candidate for homecoming king is Price Powell. Price is escorted by his mother, Tanya Clay. Price's extracurricular activities include track and field and basketball. Price plans on going to a 4-year university and major in communications and journalism. Price would like to thank his grandmother, mother, father, grandfather, Coach McDonald, and Coach Gerald. Congratulations to our second homecoming king candidate. Our next candidate for homecoming queen is Gina Tyree. Gina is escorted by her mother, Felicia Tyree. Gina's extracurricular activities include cheer, YADAP, DECA, FCCLA, and student leaders. Gina plans on going to college where she will study chemistry and eventually become a chemistry teacher. Gina would like to thank her mom, grandma, granddad, and all the teachers, administrators, and counselors at Warwick. Congratulations to our second homecoming queen candidate. Our last candidate for homecoming king is Niles Howell. Niles is escorted by his mother, Princess Brown. Niles' extracurricular activities include football, basketball, and track. Niles would like to attend Methodist University and major in kinesiology. Niles would like to thank his mother. Congratulations to our last homecoming king candidate. And our last candidate for homecoming queen is Emily May. Emily is escorted by her mother, Laura May. Emily's extracurricular activities include field hockey, softball, National and Math Honor Society, and Model United Nations. Emily would like to attend the University of Virginia and eventually become a chiropractor. Emily would like to thank her mom, boyfriend, and her brothers and sisters. Congratulations to our last homecoming queen candidate. And now it is time for the big reveal. In addition to our homecoming king and queen, we will recognize Mr. and Miss Senior. Tonight, Miss Senior is Emily Mack. Mr. Senior is Niles Howard. And crowning our homecoming queen and king tonight is our principal, Anthony Frazier, and our homecoming king from last year, Mr. Christopher Young. Our homecoming king for 2015 is Mr. Price Howard. And our homecoming queen for 2015 is none other than Mary Odom. Thank you everyone for celebrating our homecoming with us. Have a great night.
You don't have to change just to fit in. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Just be yourself, and I promise people will enjoy it. Just be yourself. Be your real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, and magical person you are. Be yourself. Because everyone else is already taken. Just be you.
Fusion Fitness with Alexis. Tune in weekdays 6:30 a.m., Mondays 7:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m.
Halftime festivities and homecoming were at Todd Stadium in Newport News, Virginia. It is Denbigh 17, Warwick nothing. Greg Bickaveris along with Nate Milton. And Nate, it's been all Denbigh so far. Nothing spectacular, but they're getting the job done.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race. The Denbigh Patriots making things happen on offense. It's been all L.J. Taylor in the first half. And now we're going to see if Warwick can stem the tide, maybe spurred on by that homecoming celebration. Maybe the Raiders can come out here and make some noise.
Scoring recap, Nate?
Scoring recap. Starting off in the first quarter, option run by quarterback L.J. Taylor. 7-0 was your score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, more of the same by the Patriots. It was a field goal by Evan Sanchez, brought it to 10-0, and then a long quarterback run by that man again, L.J. Taylor. Your score at the half, the Denbigh Patriots 17, the Warwick Raiders 0, Greg.
All right, let's go to Hannah.
I'm here with... Thanks, Greg. I'm here with Warwick's homecoming king and queen, Price Powell and Mary Odom. So how's it feel to win, you guys?
It feels great. I'm really happy and stuff for Mary.
Well, I'm very excited because I didn't think that I was going to win because of the people that I was running up against, but it feels good.
So what are your plans to celebrate tonight?
Probably go home. Might play some 2K and go out to eat maybe with my family.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't know that the homecoming was going to get postponed, so I have to go in tonight and work overnight.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So is this a big accomplishment for you guys your senior year?
Yes, it is. I'm really happy and stuff.
Yes, I'm very excited.
So what are your plans for after college? For after high school, excuse me, you guys.
I attend a 4-year college and major in communications.
Well, I plan on going to college and later, I'm going to be a nurse, so.
Well, congratulations again, you guys. Back to you, Greg.
Bubbly. Those flowers definitely light up the TV screen.
I tell you what, nice job by the king and queen, and a great job tonight by Hannah bringing you the scoop live and direct from the sidelines, folks.
Hannah winning the pennant tonight.
She fared a lot better than my Braves did this past season.
Wow. How about, and of course, the Nationals got rid of their manager, too.
Yep, Matt Williams gone.
Boy, oh boy.
Not a great year for
or the Orioles, too. Not a good year for them.
Yeah, the Orioles, not a great year either.
Not Oreos, Orioles. Not the cookie, Nate.
I'm thinking about those Halloween candies and cookies already.
We're going to get to that in the third quarter. Top 3.
You know they got pumpkin spice Oreos now, Greg?
Ooh. Get the vanilla ones, too, right?
The vanilla ones, yeah.
To the scoreboard right there, folks. And, of course, it's been all Denbigh. I'm really impressed by the play of LJ, the quarterback, as well as Donovan Johnson, number 6. Those outlet passes, those screen passes have opened it up for Denbigh.
Yeah, typically, in football, you want to use the run to set up the pass. Denby's done it the opposite way tonight. They've used some short passes and some screen passes to LJ Taylor and to Casey Vick to open up the running lanes for the quarterback, LJ Taylor. And Taylor has looked phenomenal tonight. He's done a great job playing within himself, not trying to do too much, and leading this team to a 17-0 lead over Warwick, who you see right there. Warwick getting fired up, Warwick getting pumped up. It's their homecoming. They don't want to let down these fans. They don't want to let down the king and queen. We'll see if they have enough to come back.
And they need to pick up their energy level right there. They saw them doing the jumping jacks, but sometimes it's basic. We see Sam Price up here with us too.
Always great to see Sam in the building. Warwick's got to come out here and fight. They've got to show some pride in themselves, the name on the front of the jersey, and show some pride for these schools. The student body that's come out tonight to celebrate, to enjoy this homecoming. The Raiders have got to do something big here, and Coach Hairston has to let these guys know what time it is.
Still humid outside for October.
Very nice weather, and the field conditions, like we mentioned, Greg. The field is in excellent shape right now.
Looks really, really good. I compared it to a golf course. Looks that good.
I can go for a round of golf right about now.
Big Elton Brown come up here, went to UVA. He can't even believe what's going on at UVA either himself.
Yeah, it has not been a great season for Mike London and those Cavaliers.
See the fans right there enjoying themselves. No jackets on tonight. And we're got 24 minutes left of high school action. Of course, pizza and football presented by Fazoli's.com.
Fazoli's.com, pizza and football, a great combo. And I think the great combo tonight, Greg, has probably been our man LJ Taylor and, of course, DJ on the receiving end for the Denbigh Patriots.
Of course, we have the report card coming up. Nate, you don't want to be giving out no Fs on homecoming.
I'm a hard grader, Greg, but I'm fair. And speaking of fair, there's Fazoli's, folks. Fazoli's on Jefferson Avenue here in Newport News, Virginia. Fazoli's.com, folks. They fed our crew. Let them feed your crew. Fazoli's, pizza and football.
Right there on Jefferson Avenue in Newport News. Great subs as well and breadsticks. They'll be doing the November edition of Sports Highlights. 12-minute quarters.
Well, we're waiting for the kickoff. What's your favorite topping, Greg?
Oh, it's always got probably, I'd say, the top 3: pepperoni, sausage, mushroom. Number 4 would be onion.
Okay.
How about yours?
I love all those, Greg, but I'm a little partial to a Hawaiian pizza with the pineapples and the
cheerleaders
onions.
There. Not everybody's got pineapple, though. All right, big kick right there. We'll see what Warwick can do. Fumble again. Unbelievable. They get a hold of themselves across the 20. And there you go. We talked about that before where you don't want to see somebody playing offense, defense, and special teams. Give them a rest. But when you got a player like Good, he's a threat at any time.
Good, not only a threat on the football field, but also a threat to win Homecoming King, as we saw at the halftime festivities. He did not win it. Shout out to the young man that did, Royce, the king for the Warwick Raiders this year. But Good is just an all-around player, an all-around threat, both on offense and on special teams for the Raiders.
11:53 left. 17-0 is the score at Denbigh, just starting the third quarter. Hope you enjoyed the homecoming festivities. Warwick in the red, and Denbigh in the white. And Warwick needs to open up some big plays here. They just can't, with the hourglass ticking now, they can't be reactive.
Right, they've got to be proactive. They've got to go out there and be assertive, be aggressive, but also they've got to play smart. They can't afford any turnovers right now because that's just going to play right into the hands of the Denbigh Patriots. Warwick's got to come out here and make a statement on this drive, Greg.
They can't be saying, let me clear my throat in the third quarter.
No, this is no time for Funkmaster Flex, Greg.
Right. They're down. They're not out yet.
Right.
But this is a big series for them right here.
The Raiders need to be like Drake. We started from the bottom, but now we're here. They got to get here.
Well, there's the Warwick Raiders. Will they listen to you on the quarterback keeper by Lucas?
Lucas doing a good job picking up some positive yardage. But, again, you got to credit Denbigh. Denbigh's done a good job of bending, but they really haven't been broken so far in this game, Greg. Warwick has moved the football, but they haven't been able to punch it through. They haven't been able to sustain a scoring drive. So you've got to credit Denbigh for their defensive effort.
You don't want to be careless either and just make quick, erratic mistakes. I mean, this is a big series here, folks. You only got 12-minute quarters in high school, and Denbigh's got a comfortable lead. And Denbigh says, stall the clock all you want. We got a 17-0 lead, and Warwick hasn't proven they've scored the last 3 games.
Warwick is the team that's got to have the pace right now. They've got to be the most proactive team, as you mentioned.
They got to be the trendsetter. And nothing there. Skidding.
Wow.
Literally skidding. Took a big shot at the head, though. See if we get a shot right there.
Not a good play for the Raiders, and there you see Good. He's the one guy they can't afford to get anybody hurt, but especially DeMonte Good right now.
No, he's the catalyst of the team. He makes it all good.
Yeah, Good. And you see he's shook up a little bit, but he's walking it off. These kids are tough out there, and Good getting a little bit of encouragement by his teammate, number 32, Jeremy Campusano. It's a great name.
Yes, it is.
Campusano.
Like catching a cab at night. 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. Warwick punting against special teams. Good defense by the Patriots.
You talk about catching the cab. There's a new app out there called Uber. I think that's what Warwick needs for their offense. They need to call Uber and see if they can get some transportation.
Almost a block punt, but a fair catch by Denbigh. Good call there. Again, who's the fair catch by L.J. Taylor? I would never have my quarterback returning punts when he's playing so well. Now, not everybody's Ronald Curry.
Now that is a very risky proposition.
Wow.
It's one thing to have your quarterback return kicks.
Yeah.
But even that's a little bit dangerous.
But you don't have enough reaction time.
With punts, yes. You don't have the reaction time. Then you see the score 17-0, Denbigh on top. So very precarious position.
Get the Road Spell Sports, nnpstv.com.
And, of course, folks, tell your friends about us, nnpstv.com.
9:48 left in the third quarter. Denbigh with the ball, coached by B2 Harris, who went to Ferguson. Also East Carolina, Denbigh in the white, Warwick in the maroon. Two oldest schools in Newport News. Denbigh just milking the clock on the ground. We played 1 hour and 30 minutes so far, including halftime. Denbigh trying to go to 4-2. Warwick's already 1-4. They've already played 5 games each. Idle because of the so-called hurricane, more like the rain and windstorm we had here.
Right. We didn't receive the biggest hurricane, but here's a storm of brewing right now.
Good extra effort right there by number 15. Who else? L.J. Taylor for Denbigh. Instant replay, great graphics by the crew.
You mentioned who else, Greg. L.J. Taylor been running this Denbigh offense all night. Here you see kind of almost similar to some of the plays he ran at Woodside out of that wing tee. Just a nice little option. Doesn't give it up to the running back, keeps it himself, and finds a way to pick up some good yardage.
But totally fooled Warwick. You saw them tackling the wrong person.
A good job by the running back selling that play.
Right.
Great job all around.
Offense, defense, special teams. Takes it all. Denbigh nowhere on the ground, respectively, by number 36, Keyshawn Chisholm. He's a dual threat he can catch, too.
And I really like what they're doing right now, Greg. You
milking
mentioned
the clock.
They're setting the tempo. They're wearing down this Warwick Raider offense. But the other thing they're doing is they're letting that clock run down. They're not allowing Warwick the chance to get the ball back and score. And this is something that Warwick's got to stop. Warwick has to make a stand defensively because they can't let Denbigh sit on his ball.
And nice catch there. But they're going to call it incomplete.
I thought he had it, but they're ruling it incomplete.
You said selling it right there. He sold everybody there.
He deserves an Academy Award, at
like
least
a real
a
estate
primetime
agent.
Emmy.
Yes, he did. He closed the deal. But still 3rd and 10. We're the only ones who've got instant replay, folks. We see the real deal. 17-0 respectively. Denbigh up over Warwick. Greg Bickavera, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Our entire crew. There's a throw on the run. Interception. That didn't fool nobody. Good catch. That's what Warwick needed, a big play by number 2.
Here we're going to see great defensive effort, Greg. Like you mentioned, in the nick of time, Taylor tries to pass it, doesn't have his feet set, and Warwick comes away with the football. Great effort by the defensive backfield for the Warwick Raiders, and that could turn the tide of the game right here.
Yes, it was. Great catch. But again, they've got to make something happen, make it count.
They got great field position starting around midfield, but like you said, Greg, they've been able to move the ball. They just haven't been able to score.
Got the fizzle of the soda, but nothing on the scoreboard.
So it's all fizz, no taste to it. All sizzle, no steak tonight.
Denbigh averaging 24 in offense, giving up 22 in defense. Warwick averaging 10 points in offense, giving up 31 on defense. .8:13 left. Biggest series of the game right now for the Warwick Raiders right here. They're down by 17 midway through the 3rd quarter almost. Decent run right there by number 8 for the Raiders. Lucas, of course, Warwick's had some great quarterbacks like Cho Slade, Michael Vick, and Marcus Vick over the years. Cho Slade really set it going for Coach Madden. Him and Stevie Cerrides, and of course in the 90s it was Michael and Marcus Vick, and now you see the Raiders in the 21st century. A lot of different coaches, and that's been the problem, except for Woodside, who's only had 2 coaches in 20 years. Everybody else has been a domino effect, really.
Woodside, you've seen that.
Denbigh's got some consistency.
You've seen the consistency. Denbigh had it, and now we're trying to see if Warwick can establish it. Interesting move, though, here in the second half, Greg. We've seen more of Zion at quarterback than Nunn, who we saw a lot in the first half, particularly the first quarter. So I'm wondering if Coach Harrison is thinking that Zion gives him a better chance.
And that's the same problem with the Texans. They're shuffling quarterbacks, and they're playing really bad right now.
What's the old saying? If you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have any.
Exactly. You got to give the Redskins credit for sticking with Cousins.
And I think, man, here you see the coaching staff trying to get these boys.
That's the assistant coach, folks.
Invested. But again, like you mentioned, with whether it's the Texans or whether it's some college teams, your Ohio State Buckeyes have gone through some of that.
I'm neutral. I like all the teams.
Trying to establish.
Give me a nice polo shirt. I'm happy. I'll wear a Michigan polo shirt.
That's all they got to do is give you some merchandise.
I won't wear a Michigan shirt. No way.
How about a nice Michigan State blazer?
No. I'm a polo shirt guy. 2XL, I'm good. Like DeMonte Good. 17-0, 6:42 left in the 3rd quarter. Greg Bickavera, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Wednesday night, high school football replays at 7. Friday night, the encore at 7. A lot of replays, and Wednesday night is our night.
Well, that's the thing. High school football is not just for Fridays anymore, folks. Wednesday night, check out the replay.
Takeout, Fazoli's.
It's a wonderful night. Fazoli's football and pizza go well together.
And this is tackle football. That's tackle football at its best. See right there, still a burst of energy right there. I got to love his enthusiasm. DeMonte, it's good.
Good, basically trying to will his team to a first down on his own back.
And we're coming up on 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
There's 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. 6 minutes, DeMonte Good, you're on.
And, of course, Nate will be singing his closeout song in the 4th quarter regardless. Right now, Nate's trying to hold any hope for – he's not hoping for anybody. We stay neutral up in the booth.
We want to see both of these teams do well. Both teams have good young coaches, want to see both squads do well.
But only one's going to win.
But only one. You got to have a winner, you got to have a loser.
Work on the quarterback keeper, stuttering and bulldozing his way through was Lucas.
Zion Lucas.
There he is,
Good job
beat
on the
2
second
Harris,
effort.
ran for city
Coach
council,
Harris.
former Ferguson quarterback. In fact, Michael Vick replaced him in the early 90s as the quarterback. I tell you one thing, folks. I know a lot of gentlemen, that is what you call the epitome of a gentleman right there. Marcellus B2 Harris. His parents did a wonderful job raising him as a kid, now a grown man, really an asset to the community, really a true gentleman right there, Marcellus B2 Harris. And consistency, folks, that's what life is all about. We've been doing the TV games here since 91. He's a consistent player at Ferguson, at East Carolina, now as the head coach at Denbigh. He's not all over the place. He's as consistent as a person, as a coach in Newport News has ever had.
And that's the big thing, Greg, consistency as a person, that character. And even though sometimes it doesn't show in the records, I think that Denbigh is better off for having him on the sideline.
Got the Jim Harbaugh khakis on.
Jim Harbaugh khakis without the Jim Harbaugh attitude.
And Michigan's playing good right now. Ohio State's getting nervous, I think.
I'm telling you.
And there's a run again by Lucas.
Whoa.
Not Luke like Skywalker, but Lucas.
Well, he used the force on that play. Zion Lucas marching onward to
Best
Zion.
name, in the district.
That's a great name. Great name. He makes the all-name team this year.
Reminds me a lot of Cho Slade that played for Warwick. You see right there, Corey Hairston. A little bit of a smile on his face. Not many coaches smile, that's for sure.
Well, I like to see Coach Harrison. We talked to him before the game, Greg. And
a little loose. He was loose.
He's enjoying his time there. And, even though the team hasn't performed as well as he'd like to, he understands this is a young squad. They're going to go through their growing pains. You're going to take your lumps. But I think he's a quality coach, and he's got the right type of attitude to get these guys playing. It just hasn't broken.
Yeah, he's even shaking his head. We got a good win against Granby, but it hasn't been nothing since. And they beat the Southside school in Granby, but nothing since.
And it's going to take time because, like you mentioned, it's about building that foundation, and you can't have a tradition of winning until you start winning. And
Raymond won.
So that's, they've got to figure out how to continue that tradition of winning here at Warwick.
Sexton, one thing about Raymond, he always developed good passing quarterbacks. And that's been lacking in Newport News since Tommy Raymond left.
Yeah.
The running quarterbacks have been there, but not the passing quarterbacks.
I'd say the best passing quarterbacks, maybe you're talking about Dingle at Denbigh a few years ago. But other than that, maybe you're talking about was it Aaron Owens at Woodside? Or Aaron Evans at Woodside.
Scorpio Brown and Elton Brown, two great players over the years. Elton, buddy of mine, of course, played for Heritage and Hampton both. And also the Arizona Cardinals, and was on Sports Highlights. We filmed him. Of course, we also did his cousin, too. Elton Brown played basketball at Virginia several years ago. Let's take a look at it, folks.
We're going to see a long run here, folks, that doesn't end up in a lot of positive yardage, and that's just a credit to the testament of Denbigh's defense. There you see running to the outside.
But what you're seeing right now is just status quo. You don't want to be status quo for your work. You've got to create and turnover, create an opportunity.
Right.
And even your team back in this game, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams.
Yep. And that was a good effort by Travis Williams, but at the end of the day, if you're not moving forward, if you're not picking up first downs, if you're not scoring points, it doesn't really mean anything.
You're 2nd and 12 again at the 39. Warwick going right to left in the red, gold, and white. Raiders nowhere, really. Denbigh's happy just to milk the clock.
And Denbigh's doing a great job on defense, getting back there and disrupting things, Greg. And there you saw DeMonte Good brought down in the backfield.
And Woodside's had some great players like Billy Kniedes, of course.
Yeah, of course, Aaron Evans, to me, maybe the best quarterback in Woodside history. The Davis boys, Mondo and Miguel. So a lot of credit and a lot of history here in Newport News. And these young men and women out here, these young men particularly, they want to go out here and see if they can make some things happen on this football field.
It's almost like they're watching the game on TV before it's on TV.
It's like they got future vision.
And right into the hands of the future vision of the Denbigh Patriots. And that's not what Warwick wanted. Corey Hairston's got his hands on his hips. He is not happy, to say the least.
Some life for the Patriots. Looks like number 11, Tysheen Parker.
You know what, this is going to extra, but read all about it. But here's this thing. You're the bulletin right now. It's 17-0 Denbigh. guess what? They've milked almost 9 minutes of this clock with 1 quarter left after this.
And that's the thing. Warwick ran the ball for 9 minutes and has nothing to show for it, Greg. It's not that they ran off the time. It's that they ran off the time and they come away empty-handed.
17-zip. Nate will give us a scoring recap in just a moment. We'll be doing our candy highlights here, kind of spice up the third quarter a little bit. Nate will do his top 3, then I'll do my top 3. Always fun as we have this game before Halloween flags down. Nate, go ahead and give us your top 3 candies of all time.
Top 3 of all time, Greg. For Halloween, there you see the score 17-0. Denbigh still on top.
Trick or treat, right?
Number 3, classic candy for Halloween, the candy corn, Greg.
Yes, excellent.
Love the candy corns. At number 2, Snickers. I think everybody loves Snickers. And my favorite candy of all time, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Greg.
Very nice. I love it. 17-0 right now.
What about you, my friend? What does Greg want in his trick-or-treat bag this year?
We don't play favorites, but I would say number 3, like white chocolate, kind of is very good.
Okay.
You get that at the gourmet candy stores. Number 2, probably the peanut butter cups.
Okay.
And number 1, the black licorice at Twizzlers. Oh, my God, I love it. Or the red licorice right there, too.
So Greg is all about the licorice whip.
Got to be good. Not the chocolate licorice, but the black or the red licorice.
The classic candy.
You can't mess with licorice. You just can't mess with it. Another injured player right there. What's happened, Nate, we're seeing a couple things. The theme of this game is the idle week off has affected both teams. You're seeing more cramps and injuries out here. That could be lack of hydration, too. And, of course, again, it goes back to what I've said all along. You don't see college and professional players, folks, going both ways. That's taxing. It's taxing to play 48 minutes of both ways. It's equivalent kind of playing singles in tennis when you're playing a 3-set match by yourself. Doubles, you got somebody to play with. Football, you're out here alone pretty much with your teammates, but it's kind of like your individual assignment.
And especially when you talk about the layoff, when you talk about you see the sign for the homecoming here, folks.
I don't know about much of a welcome, though, huh, Nate?
Well, that was number 4, Calic Leary for the Raiders on the field right there. But you talk about having that week off. You talk about maybe getting out of your normal routine, getting out of your normal way of doing things and training and preparing.
All right. We're going to take a break. It's 17-0 Denbigh with 2:50 left in the third quarter. Stay tuned.
Research shows that reading aloud is the single most important thing you can do to help a child prepare for reading and learning. More than 15% of young children, 3.1 million, are read to by family members fewer than 3 times a week. Only 48% of young children in this country are read to each day. Is 15 minutes enough to make a difference?
Yes.
All right, back to live action right there. Glad to see the not too serious of an injury. Denbigh still being proactive. Nice catch right there by number 5, Jordan Williams.
And Denbigh picking up right where they left off on their last offensive series, just moving the ball down the field, able to find some space out there in the flats for these receivers, and they're just picking the Warwick secondary apart right now, unfortunately.
2:37 left. Denbigh going left to right in the white uniforms. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Here, late in the third quarter at Todd Stadium, 1 more quarter to go. Denbigh just content milking the clock. And a 17 lead could be a 100-point lead at this point if Warwick doesn't score any points.
Especially with the way Denbigh's running that ball. Like you said, Greg, they're taking time off the clock, running with this option offense here out of the spread, and it's really paralyzing that Warwick defense to a certain extent. They're not able to stop them. They're not able to get the ball back, and time is ticking away, and the clock is just as much an enemy right now to the Raiders as Denbigh's defense is.
Denbigh the shotgun going left to right with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Kind of a bad snap that affects the whole play. When you don't have good hands right there, and you get a bad snap from the center, and that people don't take that for granted sometimes. The transition from the center to the quarterback.
No, it's very important. You've got to have that connection. You got to make that smooth transition, and when you don't, bad things can happen. Fortunately, they were able to hold on to the ball, but a nice job by Ezekiel Neal getting into the backfield, for the Warwick Raiders. Excellent penetration by that Raider defense.
1:25 left in the third quarter. Third down for Denbigh. They try to move. Nowhere.
Wow.
Probably the best defensive series for the Raiders.
2 big plays back to back.
Now they got to capitalize on it here with just a little change left here in the third quarter. Still 17-0 Patriots. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. High school football presented by Fazoli's.com. Sports highlights Mondays at 7, 2 and 7 weekends at 9 a.m. School board meetings doing a great job as well.
That was a great stop in the backfield by number 55, Mario Bird. Super Mario playing the game right.
See a good shot of the pigskin and the football. I love that shot right there, the helmets colliding, the grass, the pigskin of the football.
Right there, that moment of anticipation.
And of course, like the NFL, you don't see the stripe on the football, or college and pro, college sometimes you see the stripe. NFL, you never see the stripe.
Yeah. And again, shout out to the kids. We're going to give them their proper due diligence here in the when we get to the fourth quarter. But great job by our student crew tonight. 11th and 12th graders, folks. Juniors and seniors in high school bringing you the sights and sounds of this exciting football game tonight.
What I'm really impressed by, this is not one of our bigger crews as we've had in the past, but they're getting the job done. Very close-knit group of students and staff they've got. See Corey Hairston, he's like, I might join you guys up in the booth here. Cheerleaders enjoying themselves in this nice weather. But don't let it fool you. Late fall and winters around the corner. Don't forget to set your clocks back, too. Coming up in early November. Fall back, spring forward.
That's what this Warwick offense wants to do right now. They want to spring forward. They've been falling back too far this game.
Great point there, Nathaniel. Special teams pumped by Denbigh. Really, all Denbigh did in the third quarter was milk the clock. Warwick can have the field position and the time of possession. People talk about the time of possession, but it don't matter if you don't get any points because your fans, again, are going to text you scoreboard. Well, Warwick, and the crowd is taken out of the game right now.
Warwick has had the field position all game long. They just haven't been able to capitalize, Greg. And like you mentioned, the fans that were so excited at the beginning of the game were so excited at halftime for the homecoming festivities. Now they are just stunned right now. They're taken out of the game. Warwick's got to do something to get these fans back into the thing.
Don't forget, a replay is Wednesday and Friday night at 7. Tell your friends. Thank you to the Daily Press, TV, radio log, Sonny Durth. One of the few that get it right over there.
Shout out to Sonny. You can always find Sonny on Twitter.
Yeah, I think he has no life, and all he does is tweet.
I think he's got like an automatic app where he tweets in his sleep.
He's up 24/7. Man, you got to show him how real tennis commentary is done this spring.
I am looking forward to that, my friend. I am looking forward to being out there and calling that action.
You see Good right there trying to do some good. But all right now it's just been damage. Damage control pretty much.
And they're playing right into Denbigh's hands. They've let themselves fall behind on the scoreboard, and now they're in a position where they need points quick, but we haven't seen them being able to do that all night, Greg.
16 seconds left in the third quarter. A lot of timeouts, a lot of injuries this game. And, of course, we credit that to, well, even the referee's official. Oh, he's yawning. We caught him in a yawn. It's not that boring, sir, please. We talk about the energy drink, huh, Nate?
Yeah, if they need some energy drinks, they need some coffee or something out there.
I'm a tea drinker. I like my iced tea.
Hey, tea is good, too. If green tea or some black tea, just...
Water ain't going to cut it all the time. I'm sorry.
No.
Water, I love water, but it doesn't always cut it.
Water's good.
Still the best drink there is.
You need a little flavor every now and then. A little caffeine.
And I'll give you a tip. Stay hydrated at night. People sometimes they dehydrate at night. Drink water before you go to bed.
We see it on the football field. When you're not hydrated,
Dr. G
cramp
here.
up.
Little tip right there.
Little Dr. G. So we've had Dr. Phil and Dr. G in the booth.
All right, what are you going to do for Warwick in the fourth quarter, Nate?
If I'm Warwick, I've got to figure out some way to make a statement on offense. I've got to find out some way.
Look at that helmet. Beautiful.
Great job showing support for and awareness for breast cancer.
Yep. Love it, love it, love it. Great helmets. These are two of the better uniforms in the Newport News schools right here. Not everybody can be number one in uniforms, Nate, as you said.
Yeah. There are
looking
some
a little
uniforms
lost
out there that are not so nice.
There's Lucas, number 8. Flags all over the place. And there's no time left in the third quarter either. We'll see what the officials say before we go to break.
Yeah, if you're Warwick, Greg, while we wait on this ruling from the officials, you got to come out and make a statement, make something big happen, and really take the action to Denbigh Patriots instead of sitting back on your heels.
Flags down. On the last play, that really hurts. That's not the pep in your step you want to go into the fourth quarter.
No, and it's been the story of the night for the Raiders. Every time they seem to get some momentum, they cause a penalty, and they have to move on back.
And they're not even going to take a break. They're just going to go right to the fourth quarter. Wow. 17-0 Denbigh. We have 12 minutes left. If you look at the scoreboard right now, folks, there's nothing left on the clock. The tank is empty.
Even our, like we just saw a moment ago, Greg, even our officials they're a little worn out right now, so they got to get
saw one
re-energized.
yawning earlier. It's been a long week for them as well.
Very long week, having to make up some games because of the weather lately.
Josh Stout in the truck.
Uh-oh.
Did we have a student name back in the day, Carl? His name was Carl. Really cool kid we had. You remember him, don't you?
I'm telling you, Greg, there have been so many wonderful
Characters,
kids
too.
over the years.
Reggie Crudup, of course.
Yeah, Reggie's here tonight. Got Josh in the truck. 17-0 your score.
All right, we'll take a short break, folks. We'll be back after these messages with Denbigh up 17. Stay tuned.
Aviation Academy offers a variety of hands-on experiences. Chooses select students to create a great small community. Is located at an airport for applied learning. And is career-oriented for students who are going to pursue aviation in their future. For more information, please contact the Aviation Academy at 757-886-2745.
Here's my favorite shot of the night. We need to do sports highlights like this.
Dude,
this
if that doesn't get you hyped, Greg.
This is like King Kong looking down. It's almost like King Kong on the Empire State Building. It's that cool of a shot. That's something I can relate to.
Yes.
I mean, it reminds you of like King Kong or, or the dinosaurs.
The only thing we need now is like the NFL Films voiceover. Yeah. Todd Stadium was the setting for the game.
There you go. Hey, you can do that.
Excellent job by our crew here.
All right, here we are, folks, in the fourth quarter. Now, let me set the table because lately Nate and I's fourth quarter has been more entertaining than the game's fourth quarter. We can't fool you, our precious public. Of course, tweet us at Greg Bick and Nate Mosaic. We've got Nate's report card coming up. We've got the crew list coming up. We've got atmosphere. Nate does great atmosphere for all four quarters. And, of course, Nate's going to be singing his song here in a few minutes, too. So stay tuned for that. Warwick, in the meanwhile, has got to show urgency now.
It's now or never for Warwick Raiders. I mean, 17-0 does not seem like the end of the world, but when you've seen the way they played today, they've got to get something on the board right now.
They need it. 11:02 left.
Time is not their friend.
No, it's not. The hourglass is ticking. But again, that drone shot is unbelievable. I mean, that's like a blimp shot.
I wonder if we can get Ray Price and the good people in the truck to run that shot again.
All right. Of course, we tweet all the games via the YouTube NNPS Telecom Network. I use it all the time, folks. You can too. Subscribe as well. Great channel. YouTube has got a great audio, video content. All right, there's the punt right there by the Raiders. Warwick just trying to get any type of sizzle they can, Nate, but it's really, with 10:53 left, it's going to be an uphill battle.
That was a very important series right there, Greg, because they needed to get some type of points on the board. And now you punt the ball away back to Denbigh, who we've seen all game long. They can run out the clock. They can put together 5, 6, 7, 8-minute drives and really run that clock down on you.
Let's take care of the atmosphere, Nate. Okay, it's homecoming. Warwick came in the ball game with a 1-4 record. Denbigh 3-2. They're both idle last week. Atmosphere And of course, Fazoli's.com. Thank you so much, Mr. Price and company down there, 11739 Jefferson Avenue. Michelle, you've done a great job for all three of our football games so far. 596-4324. Great subs, great pizza. Fazoli's.com. The only place to get it is the Newport News on Jefferson Avenue. Beautiful logo as well. Great job, our students and crew, for the graphic. They feed our crew. Let them feed you. It's like NNPS TV, adding class to your life. All right. How about our new shirts, too? They're very nice, too. Mr. Price can have us wearing these shirts in our sleep.
We got to come out fresh for the new football season.
That's it.
Had to come out fresh.
Weather cooperated. All right, Nate, how about the atmosphere?
I'll tell you what, Greg, the atmosphere, we did have a better than normal crowd out here at the stadium tonight. So they showed up for homecoming. They've been quiet in the second half, but you got to give credit to the Warwick Raiders the Denbigh Patriots for taking the Warwick fans out of this game. Homecoming was pretty eventful, but overall, Greg, I would say if we're going to give a letter grade to the atmosphere tonight, homecoming aside, I'd give them a C.
And Denbigh keeping on the ground, they got out of bounds. That's one thing Denbigh doesn't want to do is go out of bounds. No. 10-10 left. So overall, the grade?
Overall, the grade for the atmosphere, big crowd, bigger than usual. They were excited early, but got really quiet in the second half. There you see the cheerleaders. Homecoming 2015. I wish I could give them a higher grade, but I'm going to have to give them a C, Greg, for their atmosphere tonight.
There you go. That's pretty generous of you, too, as well.
Well, you just missed the ice cream and cake.
They're not in the library either.
No, they're not in the library, but the ice cream and cake bumped them up a couple notches.
Oh, you got to love some ice cream and cake. Put a little licorice on top of it.
There's back to the licorice again. The black and the red.
You got it. Like the nibs. The nibs. You know what I'm talking about.
Now I want some ice cream.
And cake.
It's some red velvet cake.
Just give me some chocolate or vanilla. I'm good. All right, 17 zip. Surprised Denbigh's throwing, but it's working. Why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
At this point of the game, Greg, I think Denbigh, they want to run out the clock, but they also want to get that offense going and moving because they've got some pretty tough games on the horizon. You talk about Woodside, you talk about Bethel, you talk about Phoebus. Denbigh's going to have to pass in those games a lot more than they did tonight, so maybe Coach Harris is working on some things for down the road.
9:55 left in this game. Denbigh up 17-0 in the white, going right to left. It's been the L.J. Taylor show. Denbigh keeping the ground. Nice run right there. Casey Vick. Of course, his dad, when Ferguson, played for Ted Bako. Nephew of Michael and Marcus Vick. He's limping right now. We'll get to the adult crew, the executive producer, of course, in a second. But Twitter, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at N8 Mosaic. And Nate, what you're seeing with Twitter is it's the present and future of communication.
Right, it's instant access. I can say something to Donald Trump right now, and he may or may not respond to me.
But you have access to it.
I have access to him, and that's something that
the president. You gotta watch that.
20 years ago, you never had access to people in entertainment, in sports, in politics like you do today.
Yeah, President Obama's on Twitter too. He's doing a great job.
You could get a retweet from the president. That is insane.
Unbelievable when you think about it. Hey, here's the thing. You see a little player shoving a little bit, but Twitter and social media has made it a level playing field that you have access to Hollywood stars and athletes that they don't have the advantage of communication over the fans anymore. The fans have just as much access as they do. They might not be as entitled as they are, but they have the same access they do.
And it's a little bit of a trouble situation because you can run into a problem where the athlete responds to the fan and they get themselves in a hot water because they don't understand how social media, it can affect them. Hello.
Extra effort right there is working like a pinball machine. What a run by number 15, our player of the game, number 15. L.J. Taylor getting the job done.
Wow, L.J.
Unbelievable. That's 2 runs like that tonight. He's gotten on opposite ends of the field.
Here you see him leaving a trail of broken tackles.
He's saying hello, Woodside.
And broken ankles. Look at, kill him. Kill him. Little Terrio.
He is playing unbelievable. Look at that run.
Got him.
Warwick was just watching him.
Wow, that is an excellent job of running the football by L.J. Taylor. Taylor has been a one-man show tonight. Great job by the Denbigh offense, running out of that option, running out of that spread, and Coach Harris has got to be thrilled with the performance of this team tonight.
It is 24-zip. It's been all of Denbigh. Scoring recap presented by Fazoli's.com. Let's take a break. We'll be back after these messages.
Music and fine arts provide enriching experiences. They teach students that there can be more than one solution to a problem, more than one right answer, that mistakes are learning experiences, and present an opportunity to be creative and flexible. The arts and cultural systems dedication to concentration, analysis, and self-adjustment to reduce
There's that zoom, zoom, zoom. What a drone shot that is. You see the flag right there. Almost
John
like
B. Todd Stadium.
It's like a silhouette almost, Nate.
It was the setting for this game tonight. L.J. Taylor would change the fortunes for the Patriots.
Exactly.
That's my audition for NFL film.
And once again, the Raiders
are
going down.
And the Patriots.
Al Davis is rolling around right now.
Al Davis.
The Raiders are meant to be in Oakland, not in Los Angeles.
No, and I'll tell you what, the Raiders having a surprisingly good season this year so far.
Warwick just running for their lives right now. Who else? There's a goodie.
Wow.
And DeMonte Good.
That's the most life Warwick's shown in a while, Greg.
It was a candy called Good and Plenty.
Good and Plenty. We've seen Good and Plenty at DeMonte Good tonight.
All right, sports highlights, folks. We've been doing it since February of '92. Communicator Awards, 2 Peninsula Sports Club Awards by yours truly and Ray Price. Mondays at 7, 2, and 7. Weekends at 9 on Cox Cable 47, 517. Recognized by not only us, but other TV channels around Hampton Roads as the premier local sports interview show since February of 1992. The proof is in the pudding. You got it. All right, 8:42 left, 24-zip. Denbigh all over Warwick. The executive producer coming up in just a few moments. Don't want to miss that, where the crew list is more exciting than the fourth quarter. Unbelievable. This is 2 shutouts in a row we've had from Warwick. And remember, they got beat in their last game on our air that people were watching on a Wednesday and Friday, 42-0 to Woodside. The executive producer that makes it all happen, Menchville graduate Michelle Price, doing a wonderful job. As always, combining a richness of academics, athletics, and activities with it 24/7. Not just the weekdays, folks. NNPS is on the air 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. Webcast on nnpstv.com. Great job by Michelle. And, of course, Ray Price, the coordinating producer of high school football, the executive producer of Fusion Fitness Sports Highlights, does a great job with school board meetings. And, of course, calling the shots here for football as well. He makes it all happen since 1992. Our wonderful director, Bill Barlow, always trying to get a word in edgewise in the truck. We hear you, Bill. Sometimes better than others, but Bill does a great job, great attitude, combining a lot of consistency. Remember Bill, when we first met Bill, he said he had over 40 years of experience. I guess now it's close to 100.
But I'm telling you what, Bill Barlow he looks exactly the same today as he does when I met him when I was still a student.
Who else was like that? That was Dick Clark, remember?
Yeah, the world's oldest teenager.
And of course, CD, Carl Daniels, getting a job. Our engineer, we're waiting to see him again. He's going through initiation right now. Greg Lesko.
Speaking of initiation.
Oh, my goodness. That's like the bad news bears, Nate. You have it right in your hands and you drop it, folks. You can't fool the public there.
Tayshawn Porter on that drop right there.
But anyway, great job by the adult crew. Time in and time out. Here comes the drop right here. Unbelievable.
See, right, so much of an effort right there by Lucas just to get away from the pressure. And then right there, open man, Porter just drops
the season right there.
Yes, the season in a nutshell.
We'll get the student crew list in just a moment. 24-zip. 7:43 left. This might be one of our, I'll have to check our record books, but I don't think we've ever had back-to-back shutouts on our airwaves since 1991. This might be the first. Rarely have we ever had back-to-back shutouts on our airwaves. And the next time we come on a game, I will give you the information. Unbelievable. We could have back-to-back shutouts, both involving Warwick.
And that just goes to show you the type of season Warwick's had. Started out, you thought maybe things might be different.
Started out good at the top.
It was all good just a week ago, Greg.
Drake can't help him tonight either.
No, Drake can't help him. Meek Mill can't help him. Tupac couldn't even help him if he was here.
Kendrick Lamar might say a few words. Cheerleaders right there.
The cheerleader's still enthused about tonight.
But again, we're going into a weekend, so it could be easy into.
It's going to be easy like Sunday morning. Because Friday night's been pretty hard tonight.
Denbigh right on the ground, just milking the clock. Nate, how about that student crew list?
Student crew list, again. Juniors and seniors, folks, have brought you this game tonight, so I want to send a shout-out to Alexa Oscar, a.k.a. Kelly, Brian Peterson, Double D, Deion Davis. Summertime may be over, but Summer Ely's still in the truck. Paul Budden, Eleanor Stuck. Where in the world is Carmen Scott? Benjamin Anderson, Brandon Marrero, Muriel Gamble, Stephanie Hot Pockets Belito, Hannah Bennett, and of course, Dwayne Peterson in the building tonight. Shout out to our student crew. Great job, everybody. They have brought you the sights and sounds of this conflict tonight.
And I got to give Ray another credit, too. He's a great editor, folks. Some of the shows you see and the games you see, hey, look, sometimes you got to edit the color scene backgrounds, and he does a great job with that as well. Denbigh just keeping the ground. I'm sorry, right now Warwick's just watching Denbigh play football. And this is kind of embarrassing with the flag down. That run right there was no defensive effort at all. That was kind of embarrassing, but a good run. Nevertheless, you cannot fool the public. We just saw it.
Well, you can tell, Greg, when a team has been defeated morally.
And that was Collins on the run.
When a team just feels like they gotten punched in the gut and they can't respond anymore.
Almost like the Dolphins quitting on Joe Philbin,
yes.
Unfortunately. A pro team can quit. Good example was the Dolphins quitting on Philbin. Had no control, no discipline at all.
And those are players that are making millions of dollars. And these right here are high school kids, so, they're going to feel it. When they're down, they're gonna respond accordingly on the field.
When you don't score, it happens. And, of course, the public knows football. And you see it, folks. It's unfortunate. But
long season for these Raiders.
All right. If you are interested in TV production, call Telecom for information or to schedule a tour, 591-4687. Earn college credit today. You rising juniors and seniors, all the best to you. Learn from the best at NNPS. And maybe Ray Price will give you a shirt. With 5:45 left in the fourth quarter. Nate, it's time now for the report card.
All right, Greg, it is time for the report card, and I got my red pen out ready to hand out some grades.
First for Denbigh.
First for the Denbigh Patriots. It's going to sound like a broken record. On offense, they've been able to move the ball. I liked what I've seen from L.J. Taylor showing the command of the offense. I'm going to give them a B on offense.
We'll get to your defense in just a second. No running room there. I guess they're waiting for you to do the report card. Yeah. Both teams are.
So let's go ahead and give them their defensive grade. On defense, I like the way that they have bent, but they haven't broken. They've done a good job keeping the Raiders off of the scoreboard. I'm going to give them a B on defense, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, I'm going to give them a B as well.
Very solid.
Nice game tonight.
Nothing fancy, but the player of the game by far is number 15, L.J. Taylor.
Yeah, it wasn't a spectacular game, but they did what they needed to do. You play to win the games, as Herman Edwards said, and that's what they did.
And, of course, Edwards coached Kansas City and the Jets. And there's an injury right there by Warwick. We've seen a lot of that tonight, whether it's cramps or just fatigue. With 5:06 left in the ball game, this game is pretty much academic. Nate, we've talked about possibly 2 shutouts. Now, the game's not over yet, but it's definitely trending that way on Twitter as well at Greg Bick and N8 Mosaic.
It's trending that way. Hashtag shutout.
Yeah. Hashtag report card for Warwick.
Warwick, this is not going to be pretty for these Raiders. On offense, I'm going to give Warwick a D on offense. they've as we said all night, Greg, they were able to move the ball, but when it mattered, they weren't able to get into that end zone. And so, we've seen a couple of good plays by Deontay Good. The fans certainly were excited to see what Good could do tonight, but they weren't ever able to get him out in space, get him out there, and then we see the kid.
And the kid limping right there, number 50. Not 50 Cent, Nate.
That's Kendall.
It's number 50, Devontae Robinson.
Devontae Robinson
for Warwick,
who has played hard tonight. All the kids on Warwick have played hard, but like we said with the offense, Greg, they just haven't been able to put it together.
Denbigh going to try to go for a 4th and 12 field goal. The kick is up. Nice leg. And it is no good. What is the delay with these officials? Come on. Get an energy drink or something. They got to grade the officials, too.
It's called drama, Greg. They want to build suspense.
It's 24-0, folks.
It's getting close to Halloween. They want to be like Jason and build some suspense.
24-zip, Denbigh. Reset the offense, defense, overall grade for Warwick.
For Warwick, offense, I'm going to give them a D. On defense, this might sound funny because they're being shut out right now, but on defense, I'm going to give them a C because I think they have let L.J. Taylor and DJ get to the outside and get some positive yards, but on defense, they've been good.
Overall,
I'm going to have to give them a D, unfortunately.
The special teams too,
because the special teams are in there as well. But Warwick is a team that I think they tried very hard tonight, but unfortunately, if you don't have the weapons, it doesn't matter how hard you try because if talent and ability are out there against hustle and heart, if talent is playing to its full potential, they're going to beat hustle every time. And so, unfortunately, Warwick did not have as much talent as Denbigh out there. But here's the thing about Warwick, Greg. I think this is a young team. They can get better. They just have to go back to the drawing board and keep their heads up.
And you got all the elements, folks. You got a beautiful weather. You got homecoming, great grass. I mean, you've had an idle week off, rest. And really, it's all about the scoreboard because that's what the bottom line is. I mean, Denbigh, again, made the postseason 2 years ago.
I mean, we live in a bottom line world, Greg. You go to work. It doesn't matter how hard you work. If you don't get results, at the end of the day, you're not going to win.
You're right. And the head coach is the number one salesman. If he can't get the job done, that quota will go to somebody else.
Yep.
As we've seen so many times with Menchville and Warwick, even Heritage too, and so many schools.
And it becomes one of those issues where it's almost like chicken and the egg because you keep going through different coaches and you never build stability. Sometimes I think you might need to go through
the sausage and the egg.
The sausage and the egg. Oh, somebody's thinking about all-day breakfast.
There's always time for great pizza and breadsticks and salads. Ooh. Warwick finally wakes up, and it's way too late, folks. As they would say, it's getting late early.
Yeah, it's getting late early. I can hear the choir warming up in the background, Greg.
All right, Nate. Well, until we get under 4, we'll go ahead and take care of it.
It's time.
And we are now under 4, Nate. Take it away, my friend.
Time to sing them out.
ABC.
Yeah, in respect to the late, great Dandy Don.
Miss Dale. Our
Janice, our photographer. She's a little camera shy, but Janice done a great job tonight along with the rest of our student crew. Excellent job by these 11th and 12th graders.
Yes, she is.
But like you said, Greg, in the words of the late, great Dandy Don, we're about to sing them off the stage.
In just a moment, folks. No Lou Rawls, but we got Nate Milton. Kind of a wobbly pass. Hail Mary, incomplete. Nate, take it away.
All right, so shout out to Dandy Don. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next week, Greg, we'll start the same old thing again.
In Warwick's case, they hope not.
Yeah.
They've been shut out twice.
In Warwick's case, I hope so, and Coach Hairston.
In the 3 games so far, the losing teams have combined 12 points in 3 games.
It has been a long season for Warwick, Greg, but and
the kick is up. Typical delay again by the officials, no good.
But this is a big win for Denbigh, even though
to go 4-2.
To go 4-2, to have 3 wins in a row, you start to build confidence. Even though the schedule gets a little bit tougher now, this puts Denbigh in a position where they've got confidence now.
And with with so many teams making the postseason, Denbigh, in the 4A definitely could get back there like they did 2 years ago. Now, they weren't as good as they were 2 years ago.
No.
But they're getting there.
Yeah, they're not as good as the team that had Dingle behind center, but I think this is a team, especially –
But they're jingling.
They were dingling back then. But if L.J. Taylor can continue to mature like we've seen this season, who knows, Greg? They might be able to do something in the postseason.
We see Corey Hairston. It ain't Halloween yet, but you would think so tonight. Of course, without – thank all of our great website listeners on nnpstv.com. Warwick keeping you on the ground. They're almost conceding it already.
And at this point, you don't want anybody to get hurt.
There's been a lot of injuries tonight.
You don't want any undue injuries. You just want to, get off the field with everybody in relative health. And, Coach Harrison, he did not get the job done with the guys tonight, but they're going to live to fight another day.
That saying that "Get the Job Done" the song.
Get the job done. I go to work.
Yeah.
It's Cool Mo D or Big Daddy Kane.
You got to look that up, Nate. You're the musician.
I get the job
back
done.
in the day, weren't you?
I used to sing a little bit back in the day.
Nate can sing too. Maybe Nate will sing for us in our next game, folks.
It's been a while.
He sings during the fourth quarter with "Close the Lights, the Party's Over."
We gotta send a tribute to the late great Dandy Don Meredith every week.
And of course, highlights in college, of course. Ohio State doing very well. NFL, Broncos, Patriots as usual. It's unbelievable. Two of the oldest quarterbacks still getting it done. Unbelievable.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and
Hasselbeck with the Colts. Age is just a number.
You see Coach Harrison.
He's just got to shake his head a little bit. You only got 2 minutes left. It's all academic here. Been a great 3 football games we've done this year.
And I think what we're seeing with Warwick, Greg, is sometimes your effort does not show on the scoreboard or in the standings.
Well, they're trying.
They're working hard. I think Coach Harrison has the right attitude, but it doesn't always show up on the scoreboard.
But what hurts, though, is no points on the scoreboard because that's where the kids get the confidence from.
Right. That's going to be the job of the coaching staff this week. They got to keep those kids' spirits up because once you lose them, they're gone.
Season. I mean, there's still 4 games left. That can be a long 4 weeks.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough 4 games, too, not a cakewalk.
And when your season is academic, it's hard to get motivated, too. How do you motivate these kids when you go, the way they're playing?
I mean, they got Kickinton, Gloucester, and Hampton left, and maybe they can get that Gloucester game. Maybe that's a game they can win, but other than that, they've got 2 tough games with these Hampton schools.
They got Denbigh, too, to make up for it. Good seeing Elton Brown again. Elton shaking his head about Mike London.
I'm telling you, man. That's another program where we know Mike London works hard. We know he tries hard, but if you don't see the efforts,
it comes down to the W's.
If you don't see the results, you're not going to be there too much longer.
Goes for Beamer too.
Beamer too, yes.
He's won, but not lately.
And that's the thing with Frank Beamer. He's a legend, an icon up in Blacksburg. But what have you done for me lately?
Fans aren't too forgiving. All right, folks, it's 24-0 Denbigh. We look forward to Nate's recap. The fans just sitting there like, what's going on, shaking their head. Hey, a little jazz in their step, though.
I think she knows she's on TV, Greg.
Yeah, there you go. We got an NNPS TV idol here.
Of course. Yeah, we know all around the world, from Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, causing a panic all around the planet. It is NNPS TV and nnpstv.com, folks. Thank you for watching.
Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 on nnpstv.com. And we played 2 hours and 20 minutes, folks. And as I genuinely say, this ball game is now history. Denbigh wins it 24-0. It's a final. This game is over. It was over kind of early, though, Nate. Denbigh shuts out Warwick on homecoming. Beautiful graphics right there. Patriots win it by 24. There was no doubt about it from the outset. We'll take a break. We'll be back after these messages.
Ultimate Frisbee is a team sport in which players seek to score points by passing a Frisbee to a teammate over the opposing team's goal line. For more information, contact your local recreation center.
Here at the Peninsula SPCA, there are many ways to help out the animals in the community. There is pet adoption, foster care, volunteer work, and even a petting zoo. All these animals need as much help as they can get, and you can be there for them to give them that help. For more information, visit peninsulaspca.org.
And we're back here for the fifth quarter as Denbigh wins it over Warwick, spoiling the homecoming. Nate Milton, see Brian Weaver there, shaking the hands, great sportsmanship like always. Let's go ahead and do the scoring recap.
I tell you what, Greg, it's always great to be here on TV, on NNPS TV and nnpstv.com, and this was fall premiere season, and this was the premiere of the L.J. Taylor Show tonight, and I think it's going to get picked up for a second season. In the first quarter, we had a run by L.J. Taylor, starting off the scoring 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and that set the tone all night in the second quarter. We got a field goal by Erwin Sanchez, 10-0 was your score. Another quarterback run by L.J. Taylor. It was 17-0 heading into the half. Homecoming festivities were had, and then at the end of the game, fourth quarter, another heartbreaking, back-breaking, long quarterback run by L.J. Taylor. Mama, there goes that man again. 24-0, your final score. The Warwick Raiders fall to the Denbigh Patriots. Denbigh moves on to 4-2, Greg, and I think they've got some confidence now.
Warwick's 1-5. Where do they go? How do you pick up the pieces?
It's going to be tough for Coach Harrison and the Warwick Raiders. I think what they've got to do is extrapolate some of the good things from this game, and there were some good things. The defense, they played tough. The offense, they played hard. They just got to find a way to convert those drives into scores, and we'll see if he can get those guys heads on right so they can finish out their season strong.
All right, let's close it out on the field, folks. And, of course, you see right there at Denbigh and victorious, like Nate said, 4-2. Great job by B2 Harris. Nothing fancy, but they got the job done. Again, great play by L.J. Taylor. Patriots 4-2, Warwick 1-5. So again, great fun. A lot of homecoming festivities. A lot of the alumni coming back to Todd Stadium maybe for the first time in several years and decades. But they saw a Denbigh team win and continue to roll and evolve. That's the key word, evolve, under B2 Harris. Of course, Denbigh wins it 24-0. So for the entire crew, Ray Price, happy October. Enjoyed our 3 games. For Nate Milton, I'm Greg Bicoveris. We'll talk to you soon.